It's the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm 30NSG, or 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Salutations, gamers.
I don't know what's happening, chat.
Welcome to the week of pain.
There's like two streams going on, and it's got to do with some sort of update that has that's happened on StreamYards. So we can stream vertically and horizontally simultaneously on the thing. So I think it made two separate ones. So not too sure. So wherever you're watching, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching, or I'm sorry, on X, if you're watching on YouTube vertical, or you're watching on YouTube normal, welcome. Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We're live 8 p.m. Eastern. This is episode 495. We will be doing 496 next week, and then we'll take a week off, and then we'll come back for 497. So episode 500 will fall on the second week of August, to let you guys know. So we have this week, next week, and then we're off for a week, and then we'll be back at it again. On today's show, Sarge, we have lots of talk about PlayStation. Lots to talk about each of these stories, but really just Sony. We have a lot to talk about Sony. We have a lot to talk about Xbox, and then we have other shows or other news stories we're going to talk about as far as like Grand Theft Auto, the RAM. We're going to talk about a little bit of Spider-Man, Sony and Spider-Man. We're going to talk a little bit about Bethesda. We're talking about Suicide Squad, lots of other things on today's show. So if you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do appreciate you very much. Let's go out, Sarge. Another week down. Anything exciting happened in non-gaming stuff for you before we get to the gaming stuff?
I mean, not really. It's been a strange week. I don't know if I'm working on Saturday or not. My boss doesn't know if they're going to close the restaurant down or not. I can't even make any plans. I can't make any plans because I don't know if the restaurant's open or not.
Oh, for 4th of July.
Yeah, he doesn't know if he's open or not.
I thought you were just saying like you don't know if it's going to be closed. Like it's closing down. You don't know.
We don't know if the restaurant's going to be open or closed for 4th of July. That's
I didn't know if you were having a Microsoft situation where you're closing the
store.
No,
we don't hire that many people because there's a rush.
Yeah.
We don't hire 7,000
We gotta hire 30
waiters.
people just for the 4th of July.
Yeah, we don't hire 30. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm kind of excited because I was only 2 years old for the bicentennial, for the 200-year one, because that was in 1976, and the whole country went completely apeshit for 200 years. So now this is going to be for 250 years, and what I think is hilarious is it doesn't matter that we're just all supposed to celebrate that the country still exists after 250 years and how beautiful it actually is. But because Trump says he likes it, he loves this country, they all hate it. 4th of July. It makes no sense, bro. It's just sad. It's just sad. You're supposed to it's supposed to be a national thing, nationalism. Like you're happy we're still here, right? It's just weird.
There's two streams. One is vertical, and one is normal. It's a new feature they're putting on Streamlab or StreamYards. So
we'll see if it doesn't crash the entire system.
I mean, it's working, but not working because I thought I don't know. I don't know what I thought actually. I'll be honest with you. I'll just stop there. I didn't know what to think, so I'm just going to leave it there. So I'm just glad it's working because that's why we were started late because it made extra streams. I was like, which one's the right stream? I didn't know.
Did you know that they're going to have, I don't know if it's 24 hours or 48 hours, but it's one of those two of just fireworks from around the country. they're gonna put it on a station. It's gonna be 24 hours of fireworks shows across the entire country. I think it's cool, right?
We bought some fireworks this week. We went to go in, and we were like,
Did you buy the that's
did you
cute
buy-
or
no,
get the kids away from it? Did you buy those?
Yeah, no. I have like Disney World fireworks. Like
yeah.
we got boom, the whole sky lights up. Yeah,
Like you got to make sure that you have some containers of water ready to put out some fires just in case.
There's already people out here already shooting fireworks off.
Yeah,
they're already shooting 2 days, 3 days after. It's like a week.
No, because what they do is, you don't know this, right? But the couple days beforehand, they go out and buy the fireworks, and then they test them. They test which ones they like, and the ones that they find that they like, they go back and they buy a bunch of more of those.
Well,
that's why
we had a shit ton of coupons, right? Because there's this place called Phantom Fireworks here.
26. Nobody has coupons. They're called vouchers now. Just so you know, you're up to date.
These are coupons.
There's no coupons. The word is not used in 2026. They use vouchers. We have vouchers. We have vouchers.
No, when we walked up, they said, "Do you have your coupons?" We said, "We do."
Yeah, it's vouchers. Trust me.
Okay. So the voucher coupons that we had, it was like buy two get one, or buy one get two, right? So if you spend $100, you get another $100 for free or whatever. Our total firework bill is $600, right? But we paid $200, so we have $600 worth of fireworks.
It's always two for one. Yeah, I got you.
We have for $200, right? So they have on the board when you go to this Phantom Fireworks, it's there all the time. It's not like a pop-up shop. It's a brick and mortar store there 24/7, 365. You got to sign when you come in there. You got to show your driver's license. You got to sign a piece of paper. You got to turn that in when you buy your stuff. The top firework, now this is just pedestrian walk-in firework type stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the top person spent on fireworks?
What do you mean?
Now that I told you there's like coupons and different things.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like a person spent how much money?
Like
how much
you talk to the vendor and ask them that question?
No, they have a board of people.
There's a board, the top 10 people who buy shit.
Like who bought shit.
Okay, so 4th of July, $250, easy, $5,000.
No. Double. Guy spent $10,000.
Somebody bought $10,000 worth of fireworks.
$10,148, and he had vouchers. So that's why I told the story ahead of time. We have $200 worth of that we actually spent, but we have $600 worth of fireworks.
Sure.
What the fuck does that guy have?
He's going to war.
10,000.
He's going to war. I don't know what you're talking about.
$10,000.
Do you know how many pipe bombs I can make with $10,000 worth of fireworks? I can make a lot of pipe bombs.
Do you know, Sarge? They have. You know how we used to just hold the Roman candles?
Yeah.
They have them now where it's like it looks like a goddamn lightsaber. Okay, they have an actual grip on them, and the pirate swords, pirate swords, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
right. We used to just do PVC pipe pointing at each other.
Yeah. Well, right? we used to have Roman candle fights. That's what we used to have. We used to play in the construction neighborhoods. Yep. So there were trenches because they were putting in the foundations of the houses, and we would play like World War One, and we would fire Roman candles at each other. No safety goggles, by the way.
Bottle rockets,
Roman candles, sparklers to light up where we were because we were fighting at night. Like, yes, that's what we used to do. That's 4th of July. Oh, and look, and the trash cans, the worst one though.
Oh, the trash can with the half a stick of dynamite underneath.
Well, we did. It was dangerous, but some lunatic had come to the neighborhood and he had a quarter stick of dynamite.
Yeah,
and it went off.
It's a bomb.
It was basically a bomb, and it basically set off every car along. This is back in the 90s. It basically set off every car along within a quarter mile. The houses within 15 yards, some of the windows had shattered. It was bad. Cops had come. Like we scattered, but it was bad.
Back in the day when I lived over by FAU down in South Florida, when I stayed with Franco and I forget the other guy's name. No, Ciro. And we got together and we put all our money together. We got close to what this guy spent, about $10,000. We spent like $6,000 on fireworks.
Oof.
Okay,
bro.
And you remember the house? It was the last house before the highway, so we were right on the wall.
Yeah, you're on the 90. You're on the highway wall. Yeah.
So we did a fireworks show, and when I tell you we were competing with FAU, And FAU has that big
For
big
you,
show.
it's a big show.
They have the actual show. There was hundreds of cars on the side of the road as we started shooting it on the other side of the wall because we were up on top of the roof looking over, and there was just hundreds of cars.
People pulled over on the highway
to watch
the show.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's what I like about when the country kind of comes together, right? Like, there's no parking, there's nothing. People just pull over on the side of the road. We all take a moment and just watch the show. Like, the highways just shut down. People just
nobody cares. No one's honking horns.
No honking.
No
just
honking
kind of
horns.
hanging out, chilling, watching the show. And then when it's over, people just go about that. Like, those are the moments that I like about when this country comes together.
Yeah,
like. There's rare occasions now, but when you see them, you know it when you see it.
Well, we're taking our fireworks and we're going to a buddy's house, and then they have fireworks, and we're going out on the lake. So I would be on the land. Everyone else is going to be on the boats.
Do you know what the best part about it is?
I'm going to be
is
shooting
4th of July, new moon, pitch black.
Yeah,
no moon at all, which means amazing fireworks.
It's gonna be interesting to see because over here on a normal 4th of July, there's a lot of last year they're like, you can't shoot fireworks. Sure. And everyone shot fireworks. If they see it this year, good luck.
Right.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome because you're actually alive and not feeble to see 250. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, how lucky is someone to have seen 250 and then, or 200 and then see 250?
You think rain's gonna stop us? We have waterproof wicks.
Krebsy, you're so negative. Why do you have to piss on everyone's parade, man?
We don't give a shit. Well, we're gonna be out on the lake.
Umbrellas, raincoats, waterproof wicks.
We're already in the water. We don't give a shit if we're getting wet. We're in the lake.
Don't be so negative.
All right. He's just mad because Grand Theft Auto is digital. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, the war. I'll be honest with you. I really, really am hoping that it goes well for them, because all I'm going to say is if you pre-order a digital game, you're the problem. That's all. If you pre-order a digital game, you're the problem.
If you're on YouTube right now and you're watching the vertical, right, and you want to chat, you want to come in, come on over to the other stream. If you're on Twitter, I
got to make sure I stay in the center.
No, you don't.
I got to make sure I have shirts that are cropped properly.
Yeah, you're good.
So they can read the whole shirt.
All right, let's get to
gotta move over
what we've been playing. I like it, Sarge. Look, I'm just looking at it on the phone. It's really nice. There's just we're like cropped really nicely inside the phone.
Well, it's because I'm sitting properly. Otherwise, I'd be like this, you know.
Yeah, and then when we put the news story up there, it should fit nicely. We're gonna start off with Suicide Squad.
Where would we be playing?
Oh, what happened there?
I thought we were doing what we were playing.
Oh, we are.
We are. I'm skipping.
Okay. No, we're good.
Did you just stroke out?
I did stroke out. Yeah. Go ahead. So we're starting out with Suicide Squad. What games have you been playing, Sarge?
Actually, I didn't play a lot this week. I didn't play what I have been doing is doing homework, I guess, for Xbox. I didn't realize. I know this is going to sound dumb because I didn't care before, but the time you had told me that you had bought, you had bought that the game digital. I'm flaking out now.
It's all right. I just had a stroke. So
yeah, the game that you just played, the open world medieval game. What the hell is it called? Oh, the big one. You guys were all playing.
Crimson Desert.
Yes, Crimson Desert. Right. My God, bro, I'm stroking out myself. Right. When you said you had bought it with discounts,
gift cards,
right,
or whatever. Yeah, the points for Xbox.
Right. So then I realized that when I was playing games, and every time it came on the screen that said I had points to collect, I didn't know what that was because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it says go to your rewards.
Yeah, but I didn't know that if you don't go there, that they just die. You have to go collect them and put them in a pile, otherwise they die.
I already have one $10 gift card, and I'm already working on my second one. I'm almost done with it.
Well, but what I'm saying is, is that I didn't know that there was a list of homework assignments on there that gives you extra points
Yeah,
every
log
month.
into your mobile app.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A game
So
on Game
so
Pass.
I said, let me try this. I said, let me try this for a month. Let me see how much I can get. So I got like 6,000 or 7,000 just doing like my normal routine, and then going back and actually collecting the points instead of letting them die on the vine.
Yeah.
Because if you don't collect them, they just die. They don't give them to you. You have to go. Listen, you have to go in and click. Yes, I want them.
Yes, I want their.
Otherwise, you don't get them. It makes no sense. Why do I have to? Why do I have to go into the whole subsystem of my Xbox to go? Yeah, I want those points.
Are you sure you want to get the free stuff that we just gave you?
Right.
Yes.
It almost angers me to the point where it's like the credit card company that goes, "Oh, do you want your cash back thing? You want to sign up for the cash back?"
No,
It's like I'm with you, right? I'm paying to be with you. Why do I have to go on the website and say, yes, I want to activate the 5% cash back on these locations? Why don't you just have that shit run? Why do I have to have another step? Right?
Why do I have to opt out instead of opting in? Right?
I don't understand.
Well, actually,
I don't understand.
Actually, you have to opt in, which is stupid on that one.
Well, but it's a benefit, right? They think you get all this stuff. Like, well, so why don't I just automatically on? Let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't I want 5% back? Tell me.
You wouldn't.
No, I would. I want the
no.
If I charge,
you
yes,
wouldn't want to not to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you want it.
That's a double negative. You
Is
would
it a double
want not
negative?
to. You would want to be on it.
Right. You would.
I shouldn't have to
it,
say
right.
yes. Right. So long story short, too late. Right. Long story short. So I'm getting like maybe 6,000-7,000 a month. I figure I'll have some gift cards by the end of the year.
That's true, Altern. When the gift use stuff, you have to opt in. When they steal your info, you have to opt out. That's exactly right.
That's
exactly
actually
right.
That's
right?
actually true.
If you're getting something from the gift card, you got to opt in. But if they're taking your information and you're like, I don't want my information taken, you have to opt out.
You have to opt out. Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? My personal information free for everybody unless I tell you no.
That's right.
All the stuff that I'm already paying for, you don't want to give me any extra money for, so I have to opt in. It's bad. It's bad. All right, so in between games, besides the RV there yet, like I actually listen. I don't care what the game looks like. I think it's hilarious. Right? I haven't laughed. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
Dude, when we came off the car, the car went off the bridge yesterday, and it was like Mission Impossible up the wall.
We gave the new guy the controller for 10 seconds. Yep. He only had the controller for 10 seconds. What I like about the game is it doesn't give a shit about what you think of it. You're a Danny DeVito character. You're a midget dwarf. Okay. Yep. You chain smoke. Yep. Right? You can chain smoke. And it's not like just the cigarettes in your mouth. Like they do the whole ritual. He pulls it out.
Yep, lights it up.
He doesn't have the cheap lighter. He's got the bad boy lighter.
Yep,
right.
Lighter,
right. Yeah. Right. And then he actually draws. And I'm like, is this for kids? And then there's the whole RV is full of beer. And so you can crack open a beer. He chugs it, takes a drag of his cigarette, crushes the can, throws it on the ground. I'm like, what are we doing? He's like, we're going camping. I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
And then when you're driving through, you're like, how did they get here? Like, what's the story? What's the backstory? How did they get to the place?
I can tell you right now by what we had to go through to actually get to that spot, they were not sober when they got there.
There's got to be some story.
By the story told, right? They were not sober when they reached that position because there's no way you can make it through all that. There's just no way. I think it's hilarious. It's a team-based puzzle solve with little idiosyncrasies with the character.
Yeah,
you could throw each other. You can throw items.
Yeah, there's little items, like, and you finally figure out like if you puff the cigarette, it makes you run faster.
You run faster. Yeah.
If you eat the ham, it makes you stronger.
You're chain smoking so you can run away from the bear. It's hilarious, right? So I got a beer, I got a coffee cup in one hand, I got the chain cigarette, and I'm going to coffee, and my guy's hauling ass trying to run away from the bear.
I like the physics of it. It's funny seeing like everything just fly in the. We played this afternoon with my son, and he loves it. He's like he's figured a lot of stuff out. So
I found a couple secrets.
Do you know? Right, because I watched the clip back and he watched it and he was laughing. He goes, why did you put one of the things on the bridge, like where we fell off? He goes, because I'm sitting there and you're like, where do I put it? And I'm like, put it right here. And I'm swinging the thing around. It could have just connected to the wood itself.
Yeah, we didn't know that. He figured.
I know, but it showed
your son
green.
figured that out.
And when I looked at the video afterwards, I was like, son of a bitch, we didn't even need that thing.
So what do you need the hooks for if I got to hook it up to anything?
To the rocks. You need to embed them into the rocks. You don't need them for wood. You can just clip it to the wood.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
yeah. So I've been playing all the Game Pass games so I can open up the list on my points chart. Right. So I played Brotato. I played
for like 15 minutes.
Dome.
Yeah.
I'm doing the 15-minute round around the world. So Dome Keeper, Brotato, Minecraft. I started a new Minecraft world just to mess around because I want to build up the stuff to go after the Borden.
Mhm.
And your son popped in and he goes, I really like this seed. Can I have the number? And I'm
You're
like, what?
I don't know,
I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, the seed. And I'm like, the seed, you need seeds? And he goes, no, not the seeds, the seed. I'm like,
yeah, for the map.
Yeah, I forgot that the game generates a number.
Yeah.
And the number dictates what kind of world it is. And he goes, go into your settings and read me the seed because he wants to go into the same world and go do other stuff.
He wants to.
Yeah. I didn't even know what the hell that was. Like, I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I'm paying attention to other stuff, man.
You don't pay attention on the show. It's okay.
I do. I rent attention on the show. I played the finals. I
saw you were playing the finals with him.
So angry, bro.
He told me, he's like, Uncle Jim, he's good at it, but he gets angry. He's like, he keeps going around the map trying to figure it out. He's like, you got to stay. He's like, he told me that he's telling you, he's like, I told him he has to stay with the team if he wants to. He's like, yeah, he just kept telling me, I got to explore the map.
I got to learn the map first. I got to learn the map first.
He's like, you'll learn the map as you play.
No, I got to learn the map first. I'm seeing the easy ways to get to the staircase and stuff.
Yeah, he's good at the games.
Yeah, he's good, but he doesn't follow through with an attack. Like, he goes after somebody. I'm like, you're 11. Your reflexes should be like ninja quality, right? He picks the biggest, slowest guy. And I go, why are you picking the biggest, slowest guy? He goes, because you need to have the team balanced.
He's right.
I'm like, pick the guy you're good at. What are you talking about? Team balance. Pick a guy you're good at.
But you have to have a good team balance. If you have all the heavy guys on your team, you're not going to win.
We're not all heavy. I didn't say we're going to be all heavies. I'm just saying that
it's almost like the same type of style as the old hockey game.
If you're 11,
a skinny guy, a medium guy, and a fat guy.
That's what it reminded me of the old ice hockey from Nintendo. What I thought is if he's 11 with the reflexes that he has, he should be the light guy with the swords and go get him. Like, because 11-year-old reflexes, you're not going to shoot him before he comes running around jumping behind you like a little bunny rabbit and slicing you up.
The other day we were playing Fortnite and we were doing really well. We were in the top 7 and I got picked off and I was so pissed because there's this whole like thing that happens where you have like these, I think they're called sprites now, where they're like little creatures that you put on your back and you have to get into extraction. You gotta get them, send them off. And there's like this bubble that forms. And when you're in that bubble, you can't shoot the other guys that are there. So there's like 3 guys submitting, and then we pull up, and then we put our stuff in there. And then, the event goes off, and then you come out of the thing. So I got Marge, right? Homer Simpson's wife in front of me, starts to shoot me. Okay. But then I'm getting third-partied off the side. So I hide behind the rock, and I start shooting the guy that's third-partying me.
But you can't shoot through the bubble, you said. This is
they're out of the bubble. The bubble went
out
down.
Of the bubble. Okay.
Right. So I'm shooting the person over here to my right, and now Marge's third parties me and kills me. Okay. So now my son's by himself. He's a solo now, and he's going up. And this is not against bots now. This is against the actual people. The final. Yeah. So all of a sudden, he takes out Marge, and then there's a third party person that killed me off to the right, takes him out, and then Marge is crawling on the ground, and there's one guy left, and he's like, I got this, Dad. And he's just hopping around. Yeah. Hopping around and fucking just destroys them. And I'm like, good job, man. He took out all the guys.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
11-year-old reflexes. You pick a fast light guy with ninja swords or something quick like a shoddy or something.
And
it's off.
Funny. It's funny listening to him because he's like, that guy was a sweat. I'm like, how do you know he's a sweat? You see his skin? He's like, they always pick girl skins that are skinny.
Low hitboxes are smaller.
The hitboxes, whatever.
Yeah, the hitboxes are smaller.
And I was like, what the hell? And I play with him casually or whatever. And every time we play, we win majority, I would say 70-80% of the time. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's fun. And he knows
it reminds me of like a updated version of Smash TV. Is what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Because
it'll be
it's all
funny.
game. It's all game show stuff.
You should play around with us in Fortnite.
He wants me to be the heavy. He goes, "You Uncle Jim, you'd be good with the heavy
In Fortnite or in the finals?
in the finals."
Oh, in the finals. Yeah,
in the
he
finals.
wants me to play. I don't really like the game that much. So
So if I want to be a sweat, I have to be a female character and be like a midget dwarf. Pick the thinnest person
in
possible.
Fortnite, yeah. What else?
Is
What else
that,
you been playing?
aren't the hitboxes the same, bro?
I
Or
think they are, but I don't
really
know.
or really
No, there are bigger characters. There are bigger characters, but
Sure.
you'll never see them because the people that are on the end are not fat characters. They're all skinny.
Right, because you want smaller hitboxes. So that's what I'm saying. The hitboxes are smaller. Otherwise, you wouldn't do. Why would you want a big ass target? Nobody wants a big ass target.
Because he looks cool.
Yeah, not in a gun game, bro.
Yeah.
Not in a gun game. If you're a melee game, doesn't really matter at that point.
We always play no build. I never play build. I hate build. I don't.
Oh, you don't play build anymore for Fortnite?
No, I don't play 5-star hotels going up in the thing.
Is that
I
what
don't need
people do now? They
Yeah,
start
I don't- I
building.
don't-
They start
yeah, I don't-
building
I don't
the
need to
Ritz
shoot
Carlton.
somebody and they go and they just build a hotel. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like sneaking around in the bushes, taking out people. I got 11 kills at the end of the match. I hate the fucking build thing. That's all I do.
That was the reason why you got the game was the build.
No, the reason I got the game was because of the Save the World was the original thing. Then they turned it into the Battle Royale. We played it a little bit, well, actually we played a shit ton of it when it first came out, but I can't stand build. It's like turtling, right? It's like instead of a turtle, you just build a fucking skyscraper.
But I noticed that a lot of those guys can build very quick though. Like,
yeah, but they even changed it on console now where you could just you just hold a button and you just spin the controller and it's like it builds a fucking they even have it like a grenade now you can throw and it just builds a fucking hotel for you. For people like me that don't know how to fucking build, you know what I mean? Like
there's an actual move in Fortnite. You spin build.
Oh,
is that what it is?
Yeah, they just guys on the computer. Forget about it. You ever watch like back in the day, like Myth or them
when it first started to become.
They literally build a skyscraper that's like 14 floors, and they just keep going to the building. They're jumping and fighting and all this stuff. It's like fuck that. Put me back on the ground. I want to go back to rush mode in Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Please give me a rush mode in Battlefield proper. That's all I want.
Like my reflexes, like the way my son plays compared to me is like if I played with our parents, right? It's like, where's up? Where's up and down, right? Like that's grandma and grandpa when they play games with him, right? They're like, I don't understand what's happening. They're all like moving. Like I'm not like that. Like I'm good, but he makes me feel like I'm that.
Well, because he jumps around like a little bunny rabbit. Like
I
remember the Battlefield Friends episode of the guy hopping around. They make fun of the guy who jumps around. Like that's what they do.
Well, it's funny
because
like
I know, like for instance, when I played the finals, right? I know the minute I'm engaging somebody, I know exactly the move. They jump out from the corner. They do the power slide move.
Yep.
Then if they have a roll, then they do a dodge roll or whatever. Then they do the shotty. I'm like, I know what you're going to do. We know the move here. Go ahead. I just wait. I was like, wow. Like it's like I don't know how a ninja you think you're going to be. Like we all move the same way. Like it's not a like I'm going to get you.
Well, it's funny because he asked me the other day. He's like, because he wants to try another game, right? And he's like, how's Battlefield? He's like, can you hop? Do they hop in Battlefield? I'm like, no, you can't hop like you do.
You hop a little bit.
Yeah, but it's diminishing returns every time you hop.
Right, because you can't be a little grasshopper, right?
Yeah, you can't be like like you'll jump, but then your next jump will be smaller and smaller, right?
Right. Until
they don't want you. They don't want you.
It's basically like a Twitch fest. It's just
like spazzing out.
it's a 2026 a soldier.
Well, that's what I said to him. I said, yeah, it's not like that. He goes, oh, okay. And he's like, maybe I won't like it then. I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Listen, he's got a long time to decide what he likes. The brain. Do you remember between 11 and 17, bro? How much stuff you go through? Please,
I don't remember.
A lot, dude. A lot. I played a lot of different games. A lot.
All right. What we played the RV game. I played Enshrouded. I played this game. It's another survival game.
I saw you playing that. What is that?
I got about 12, 14 hours in the game. I didn't even know how to build. Altern had to come in the other day and tell me, he's like, you don't have to build one by one, because I didn't know. I was like, it's weird. I thought, this is my thought process. I play a lot of survival games, and I was like, oh, you can't build like you can in the other ones. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Maybe you unlock it as you go. right? I was like, maybe I haven't learned the skill to build bigger walls. So I'm literally building like one brick at a time, like Minecraft, right? Instead of popping in a giant wall with a window like Windrose or any other game. And I'm building the whole house. He goes, this is like 8 hours in. He's like, you could build an actual wall. I'm like, how do I do that? He's like, oh, you have to hit the hammer tool, and then hold tab or whatever. And then you go into. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh shit, that would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it?
So does that make you a boomer automatically?
It does, basically, yeah, because I didn't know, right?
Well, it's not like we ever look at the tutorial.
Yeah, I'm
Like
a fucking guy.
I never even opened the manual unless I was like, what's going on? Like after if I'm playing for like an hour and I can't figure it out, I'm like,
when I open up a new game, I opened up and I went, oh, manual, that's nice. It's just
men don't read maps and directions. We immediately put the disc in and play.
Was made for us, where you just take it out of the box and you just start building. You don't
start building.
Yeah, you just don't need it. You don't need it.
It's almost like an erector set for men. Is the IKEA stuff?
Yeah.
Like your wife or girlfriend's like, you want the instructions? Nope.
No, instructions are for pussies.
I have extra screws.
There's always
extra screws,
and I got 3 screws left over. They're like,
but
you're only supposed to have one. You're only supposed to have one screw.
IKEA gives you extra screws, so there's a little bit of a deviation there.
One extra screw. If you have more than one extra screw, you're missing screws.
Something's missing.
Something's not stable.
Did you notice though? IKEA knew that men were going to build out instructions. Did you notice that most of the screws, regardless of what holds them, there's usually only 1 or 2 kinds. That's it.
That's it.
The sturdier kinds, the heavier screw, the smaller shelves, or the smaller
ones,
screw. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't give you it's not like a regular thing. Remember when you had like 18 different kinds of screws for a piece of furniture? Like 2 screws types and the whole thing. Like they know what we're gonna do.
Well, that's basically what's in Shrouded. I was building really hard, and then it became easy. I like the adventure in this game. I like I have very little exposed in this giant map, and 1.0 comes out on September something. October.
Is this an alpha or a beta? What is this?
Right now, it's still in early access. It's in early access still. It comes to PlayStation on I forget what it is. Alter knows what date it is, but it's coming out 1.0 release real soon, and then Xbox comes out sometime next year, like early, probably like February or something like that. October 15th. Thank you. Thanks, Travis. So yeah, good game. I really like it. I like those types of games, man. It's just a game. When I was talking to Altern the other day, I just like is October 18th. I like games like this because it respects my time, right? Where I can come in and I can just build a house. Oh, I can explore the map. I can upgrade my gear. I can play for 30 minutes. I can play for 4 hours. I can play for 12 hours. And I always feel like I've accomplished something. Unlike other games where you play and you're like, all right, what do I do? All right, I'm just doing this because I have to get the daily login, or you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel. That's why I like playing games like Dune Awakening or Dragon Wild or Minecraft or Hytale or Lord of the Rings Morrigan, right? Like all of these games, I really like that type of style of game, especially as I get older, because sometimes I sit down, I'm like, I don't know what I want to play. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll just jump in and farm a little bit, like chop trees down so the next time I go on, I can do my next thing. It just feels like I feel like it accomplishes and it respects my time.
Well, it's not more of a homework assignment. You don't think it's like another homework assignment?
Yeah, it's just they hide the vegetables. You know what I mean?
They hide the vegetables.
Yeah, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like I'm like, obviously it's a fetch quest type of stuff, but it's blended nicely and it makes me feel like it's my own choice.
Yeah. So the difference between the old guys playing video games now and the young kids, like the young kids usually drink like Monster or Celsius now, or whatever the new things are. The old guys, we drink Huel. Like we do Huel. Like, I'm not gonna eat breakfast. I got shit to do. Huel. You just one Huel for breakfast, lunch, and your game. Like the other kids are doing like the energy drinks. We're doing Huel.
I was saying this the other day. I would love if Sea of Thieves made it into like a survival game, like I've been playing with like Valheim and stuff like that. Holy Christ, I would play the crap out of Sea of Thieves if it was that type of game.
You know, it'd
be amazing.
I'm out of practice for certain things, but the more I play, like if I play for finals, like for like a couple hours, like I'm proud of myself. My reaction time is still there. It's diminished. I'm not going to say it's not diminished, but it's still there. Like I need to know the muscle memory of the buttons in order to pull off moves correctly. And because I play so many different games, the buttons are all set differently. So it takes a while for the muscle memory to come back for that particular game.
Right.
Right. So otherwise, I could see the fluidity of that game, like for finals. I could see how that works. But I'm so arrogant when it comes to trying to find someone and sneak up on somebody. I don't like this whole, we have to go in as a herd and we engage targets together, and that's how we're going to overdo it. Like, I'm looking for the angle or the flank or like try to get on top or below. I'm blow up the floor from beneath. Like, I'm trying to do a bunch of different things. I'm not like, oh, let's do the triangle diamond.
Right. You're the disruptor. You're trying
Yeah,
to.
I can't. Especially when I'm learning a game, I can't follow a formation to try to win. Like later, when we know each other and I know you, and we're going to do like tactics or something, that's fine. But like in the beginning, I got to run around. I got to find the angles and stuff. I can't do it. I know it's a team game. It's a cover shooter, bro. It's a cover shooter.
All right. There's other games. I'm trying to think if I played other games. Just RV, Shrouded. That's it.
There's so many games, man.
I don't think I played anything else this week. All right. Let's get to top stories. All right, Sarge. Now we're going to get to the Suicide Squad. Okay. Suicide Squad.
Like the game?
Like the game. Yeah, the game. Right. So
not
remember,
the movie, the game.
No, the game that came out 2 years ago. Okay. It's been 2 years.
I'm a little worried because Kotaku's at the top of the page. So
well, Kotaku interviewed
what nonsense?
He interviewed one of the guys, and it said Suicide Squad dev opens up about the game's struggles. He says, I started feeling like I wasn't making a game anymore, and I was following a spreadsheet. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. You were.
He says the game's top designer told Bloomberg in a new interview that the longer developer dragged on, the more pressure there was to make the third-person shooter feel replayable and find ways to extract money from players. Now,
I mean, we knew that from the game.
Yeah, but people don't realize this when we tell this, because I said this. I was like, when you make a a live service game, you fundamentally break down what the game is, right? You didn't build it from the ground up to be a video game. You build it from the ground up to be a store, okay? Yeah. And they fundamentally changed how it was. It says the focus of the big meetings in Warner Brothers shifted away from would it be cool and what would help monetization. And he says, quote, that's when I started feeling like I wasn't making games anymore. I was told by Bloomberg. He says, I was also following a spreadsheet, some elusive marketing analyst spreadsheet that no one could present clearly. It kind of felt like it was in the gaming industry I wanted to work in. He says the project. You need to have, honest to God,
you need to have a zinger that's the no shit zinger.
All right, I'll get on it.
Like the no shit, because if you don't know that you're making a game based on a storefront as opposed to just making a video game, like it becomes blatantly obvious about week 3 when you start putting things together and all you want to do is buy shit before the level's complete.
All right, so he continues here. He says the project also burned out Johnny Armstrong, who started Rocksteady Studios in 2010 and eventually rose to associate designer director in Suicide Squad. He pointed out the overconfidence coming off the team's success with Batman Arkham Trilogy, and as an issue that pivoted to the live service, a genre with lots of different requirements compared to a bespoke level of narrative design in studios' critically acclaimed comic book sandboxes. The scales of Suicide Squad made it hard to test things, he said, and reliance on repeating small delays rather than more strategic planning made it impossible to make a deeper improvements needed. Yeah, you don't need testing, Sarge. You know what? Let's just build a car. So not test it out. Let's just put people that want to buy it in there.
So did anybody ask questions when you had to defeat the same boss 11 times?
13 times.
I'm sorry, 13 times.
Yeah, 13
did anyone ask any
times.
questions? No questions, right? Is the store running?
Everything's good. Store's working just operation's fine.
Store's working great.
Corporation salute, right? Got to go up. So it says, quote, we put all these hours in, but it didn't feel like we was tangibly getting better because it wasn't. Armstrong told Bloomberg, everyone felt like they were just having a run to stand still. And we wonder why studios close, right? They're being so much mismanaged and no one cares. They're just like, is that store working? Store's working. Okay.
Because there's no such thing as a middleman between the corpo and the dev team, because the corpos want the money first. The dev team has a vision of the game. And if you put those two guys together, can you imagine what the middle manager has to do when he sits in a room with all the devs, he's like, "So, what do you guys think about where you are now? How do you feel about where you are on the timeline?" And they start talking about all this abstract stuff about how this character reacts and what does it look like when he casts the spell and what happens when you get caught. Does your character clip if you get caught with a combo power in the corner? Like they're talking about that kind of stuff, and the middle manager guy just sitting there, it's like, yeah, yeah. It's like
How much that
hammer
hammer going to cost?
And right, how much is the hammer going to cost? Right, there's no in between, bro. There's no in between those two people. They're doing two separate things.
I don't like the downfall, right? But God, I love being correct and all this stuff coming out years later. And I always say, I go, the truth will come out. Time will always pass, and then it will come out because someone's NDA will come up, and then someone will speak about it. And here we go. Right? It says the duo was hoping to raise just over $11,000 on Kickstarter to deliver their brand new game. Oh wait, I'm sorry. From a pair of slightly jaded AAA developers that both grew tired of politics and money getting away and loved the passion of making games. So it says, I think as an industry, we're severely losing our way. You don't say.
Really?
Okay. It says, I used to be passionate projects. I also used to love and hoped other people loved too. When they did, it was such an amazing feeling, and it became less and less of that. And it became, well, let's hope it sells. That is such a fucking A, man. Make a game, sell a game.
It really is truly sad though that they got up every day, 40, 50-hour work weeks, stared at each other, and just talking straight through each
hated what
other.
they were doing.
Yeah,
but they were selling the shittiest skins inside the store.
Yeah,
right. No bosses. It's the same bosses that you fought in the main game. No different mechanics, just the same mechanics, but with different skins on them. Like we're gonna add a really cool character that nobody gives a shit about. Like here it comes. Great. So good. Oh, and look, you made shittier cosmetics for them. So awesome.
Yeah, but remember, it was copy pasta, not just for that game, but for all games, because the golden goose, like the guy came down off the mountain, he held up the goose, it's just basically raining golden eggs on him. He's like, I have the new genre.
This one doesn't go in
service. Like you knew that was what happening.
Does anybody have the article? I don't know, Crazy or someone can find it. There was a tweet that someone said that they interviewed the guy and he said something. They didn't put it in this article. There was some other thing that they said. It was the biggest disaster they've ever worked on. Right? The sales
worse than Concord.
The sales were terrible. They lost over $200 million. Obviously, we know that but it's like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Like, soon as someone said, hey, what's the end game? Don't worry, I got it. What's Tim working on? He said he's got it. All right, let's showcase. Tim, what do you got? I was thinking, what about if we got Brainiac? Okay, hold on now. Brainiac, but we fight him not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. And they're like, what's happening? 13 times. They're like, yeah, that's great, Tim. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's awesome. That sounds amazing. And then turn and they go, oh, we're fucked. We're fucked. No end game. We're fucked, bro.
But someone had to sit in a room and say it.
And then agree to it.
And then agree to it.
Right. Someone said it out loud, and then all the
whole room
that worked there was like, yeah, that sounds good.
Great. Right.
No.
It sounds to me like everybody was a yes man. Nobody could tell the truth to anybody else.
Or I don't give a shit, man.
Right.
Not even the yes man. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. This sounds like Redfall all over again. It sounds like these guys, and again, this is only one person, right? Only one person. But they all didn't want to work on the game because the game that they originally wanted to work on was gone because it was all microtransactions and live service. They didn't give a shit about the game. I played the game. I thought the single player game, like the story, was good. It wasn't great. It's good. And I'm okay that they killed Batman. I'm okay that they killed Superman. I thought that was interesting. Okay. But then they're like, yep, they're back alive. Like, what's the fucking point of killing them? What was the whole point of making this whole big thing when they're coming back? Let's do the same board, but now with the purple sky. Let's do the same board, but now with snow.
I think it did have a good hook, though. I think being an anti-hero game,
Krebsy.
I think an anti-hero game could have done well if you just followed through with it. Let the people actually be the bad guys and feel how it is to be the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just allow it to happen. Did you ever watch Viva the Dirt League?
Yeah.
Where the skit was being an evil character, right? And they log in together and he's like, yeah, I was thinking about being an evil character this time. He's like, yeah. He's like, you sure? He's like, you sure you want to be an evil character? He's like, yeah, I'm tired of being the goody two. I'm gonna be an evil guy and just go around and do all the stuff I want to do, right? So they go through the steps, and like one of the steps is him having to murder families and children. Then he's gonna go after he's like doing everything, and he starts feeling guilty. He's like, I don't want to kill the orphans. It's like you chose the evil character, just do it. That's what you wanted to do. It's like, go ahead, kill the orphans. It's like I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill them.
All right,
I thought it was priceless, absolutely priceless.
Here's the continuation. It says, according to Bloomberg, several of the lead developers behind Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League said that the game flopped so hard and had such a deep personal impact that made them not want to make games anymore. Is that awesome? That's awesome.
That sounds amazing to be a developer inside that studio.
Like, oh man, I love the game industry. And by the time they're done with Suicide Squad, they're like,
I don't want to work here anymore.
I don't want to work here anymore again.
So think about that premise, and then multiply that times 150 studios. Same mentality. You take somebody, you take their passion for something, you turn it into a corpo drone, and then you make them hate the thing that they wanted to do for their actual career. Sounds great, right? I can see the industry completely blossoming from this, bro. We're gonna get the greatest games ever from this wheel.
So I have a question. Did we save them? Because the game bombed so hard, they actually realized that that's what the game industry is, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this, so they left.
Yeah, but there's a fine line, because if you're trying to do what you love to do, you have to find the avenue by which you can make revenue from that passion. And if all the big studios that you want to join are being gobbled up by corpos, and because they're all trying to compete with each other to have a game 5 games out a year, right? Because they have to, they're not all even, right? You want games coming out every year. So if no matter where you go, you're going to get gobbled up. Imagine being someone who finally settles in on a studio that's semi-decent, and you come out with a decent AA game, and then a corpo sniffs it out and smells that you're doing well in the AA sphere, and they're like, "This is the team. We have to buy them next." And you're thinking, "Oh shit!" As soon as I know that a corpo is sniffing around my AA studio, I'm already putting in job applications.
I feel like, not that it's the same type of thing, because obviously this game that I'm about to name is doing great, okay, but they're also changing and they're not doing the right. Sony, since we're going to be talking about Sony, has Arrowhead Studios, which is doing Helldivers 2. And when Helldivers 2 came out, it was perfect. Gamers loved it because of what it was and how it didn't feel like a pay-to-win type of thing, and they had a nice balance of what was going on. But then they sold 16, 20 million copies, and Sony wanted you to sign in, and they did all this other stuff. And now you look at Arrowhead with Helldivers 2, and they're having problems, and they just keep adding Warbond after Warbond after Warbond after Warbond. And you're like, well, that's cool. That's great. They're giving us content because you can do the Warbond. But they're also making the changes where they're nerfing stuff and buffing stuff based on what the Warbond's coming in and stuff like that. And the reason I bring that up is it's like corporate just saying, well, how can we monetize that? How can we take this really fun game that everyone really loves, even though they paid the $40 or whatever it was for it? But how can we get $50? How can we get $70 out of each one? How do we get $100 per person out of each one? Right. And as they get that money, the player count just keeps going like this. And they're like, huge success. Let's make another game like that. Right. Because all they see is that they sold a shit ton, and then a bunch of people bought a bunch of stuff, and they don't care that the number did this because they already got the money up front. And then they can slowly decay the game long term, still make recurring revenue, but then make it shitty enough so people go play a different live service game that here's another live service game that we want. Here's Marathon, right?
Yes.
Like they push out in front of you.
But that's
what I feel like it is.
Well, because you have to realize that they thought about that prior to that. Like they're not. They're evil corpos.
It's planned. It's baked in.
Right. They're evil corpos, but they're planning a little bit ahead. They know that a game isn't going to last forever. They're hoping for the forever game. Like, that's the goal, right? The goal is to have a GTA Online. Like, that's That's Mecca. But at the same time, you know that you're not going to get there. So what you do is you just milk the game that's current right now. And in your mind, we're going to just get another game like this and just milk that one until that one dies.
Yeah.
Right. But meanwhile, every time you do this, people are like, this is just another one of those shitty games. I don't want to play this anymore.
Another High
right?
Guard, another
like
Concord, another fair games.
Helldivers was fresh and fun at the time. Right. It was fresh. It was just fun on the genre that it was. Co-op with your buddies, just kind of hang out. And then they turned it into Dreg.
Which is it's
well, because it's like petting the rabbits, George, right? You pet the rabbit until you pet the rabbit so hard you kill the rabbit. Like you don't let the rabbit breathe. You just because you want the revenue. It's a little sad, but at this point though, I mean, the comeuppance is here. Right. This is the comeuppance.
This is a great title. Altern says the game should have been called Suicide Squad. Kill the aspirations of the devs. That's good. 5 points for Altern.
Aspiration Killer. The sequel. Suicide Squad 2. Aspiration Killer.
Oh man. All right. The next story that we're gonna talk about here is PlayStation. The disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. I, Sarge, have never seen so many people defend. Now, there's a lot of people not defending it. There's a lot of people, as Waterbear, I don't want to take credit for this. Waterbear came into the stream earlier and was like, so you're saying, because I said it was like smelling salt underneath people's noses, and they finally, like, they're waking up from this.
Waking up.
What Water said, he goes, oh, so it's like the Matrix, where they finally woke up and unplugged
in the Matrix.
He goes, and now they're like awake. And now they see what the hell's fucking going on. And I was like, that's brilliant. That's exactly what's happening right now, right? Because you've seen journalists, you've seen YouTube creators that have always defended these companies and stuff. All of a sudden, they're like, this is bullshit. And you're like, this was here the whole entire time. And we know this. You know why? Because we're on episode 495, and we've been talking about this shit for fucking a decade. Okay? We're like, if you keep doing this, this is going to happen. If you keep doing this, this is going to happen. And here we are. We're at the point where we're still a year and a half away.
I mean, we're here though.
Yeah, we are. We're living in it right now.
Yeah, this is. So the issue that I have with this, besides Armageddon for gaming, is the fact that Sony. I think I'm trying to figure out Sony's angle on the timing of the announcement, because with all the increase in prices for hardware, and you're still selling PS5s that have a disk drive, wouldn't you have said first, before this statement, we are now discontinuing the PlayStation 5 with discs, and then wait 6 months and then say this? Like, you say this, but you're still selling consoles that have disk drives.
Sure.
How does that look? What's the optics?
Copies coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the optics of that? Knowing full well that in 2 years you can't buy a disc anymore. Like, you get what I'm saying, though, right?
I get what you're saying. And this is why I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it because right now it's the world is burning, right? So when the world is burning, you might as well just put it in, like you want to break up with somebody. If they just get in a car accident, you're like, oh, that sucks, in a car accident. Oh, by the way, I don't want to be with you anymore, right? You might as well just
you might wait.
You might as well just pile it on. No, there's no good time. You might as well just pile it on. Okay.
Wait. There's no good time. You wait for a car accident, then you're gonna break up with somebody. Is that Sony? Is that what's happening?
That's what Sony.
That's what Sony's doing.
Like the car crash happened, and then you're like, "Well, you don't know how to drive. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm breaking up with you." Right? Right? I can't put my life in danger with you the way you drive a car. Right? That's what they're doing. So they're just throwing their hat in the ring because we got $1,000 consoles. Right? We've got consoles going up in price. Steam Machine came out. Everything is right. RAM prices are skyrocket. So it's like, what's a good time? Well, if we wait closer to PlayStation 6, this is going to be bad news. Why don't we just throw it in there now?
Get it out.
And then by this time, it'll just cool off by the time it comes. Because a year and a half from now, right? There'll be an article that comes out 6 months away from Sony not ending. Ending
a countdown for discs to be gone.
A countdown. Now, what they didn't say was they're not making a portable disk drive for PlayStation 6, right? They said they're not making digital, or they're not making physical products anymore, right? So that means third party, first party, because Sony has a deal where if you make a disc for their system, they have to make it. So even a third party company is making a game, they have to go through Sony to get the discs printed for them.
I don't know about that.
That's true.
Are you sure
Okay.
that's true?
Yes.
I heard that. I don't, because I think everyone's deal is different though. I don't know if that's fact. I don't know if
Sony
that's
makes
100%.
the discs for the systems for their PlayStation.
Correct.
Okay. So what they're doing now is that they're getting rid of all physical media, but if you still have discs, they could just go, oh yeah, we're still making a. Now they haven't come out and said this, but they also haven't not said this, right? So they could come out with a disc drive because they already have a portable disc drive for PlayStation. They could be like, oh yeah, you can buy the portable disc drive. Oh, but by the way, it's much higher in price now, so it's going to be like $200 for a portable disc drive that you have to plug into a proprietary, system inside of the PlayStation 6, right? So the PlayStation 6 doesn't have an actual disc drive, so you can buy a portable disc drive. And again, I don't know if they're doing this. I'm just saying they could, because if you have discs right now that you're buying, if there is no disc drive for the PlayStation 6 and you can't play your old games on the PlayStation 6 at all, then why would people continue buying games at all right now?
Well, if I was following the corpo logic, if I'm following corpo logic, if I release the PlayStation 6 without a disc drive, then I have to say, we're going to allow you to transfer the discs that you have over to the discless thing, so you don't have to rebuy them, but you have to pay a monthly fee. Like that's what I see happening. Like that's what I see happening. Like instead of being able to put your discs on the machine that you had in the past and still play them, the backwards compatibility will be you being able to transfer your ownership of the disc into digital that you already have through their service, and because of that service, you have to pay the monthly fee in order to play your old games. Which sounds madness, but I'm thinking that's the goal.
Brainchild. What's going on, Brainchild? Says or they're just saying this to give people FOMO and going out to purchase as many physical games as they can before they're gone, and they still get rid of the disc drives, but not for a few more years. Right.
I think that would be
move that shelf, move off the stuff off the shelf and get rid of the inventory and stuff like that.
Like I would think that people who like discs now would probably be going online and start going to GameStops and start looking for the games that you missed playing, that you have to go out and buy the discs now before that's all there is. Because when there are no more discs, the finite supply that's out there, the prices start to go up because people know that you're looking for hard copies of things. You know what I mean? So like a game that's $5 at GameStop now, when there's no more games being made, will now be a retro collector type thing, and they're going to charge you $30 for a disc for a game that's 15 years old, because these are the discs. These are the games, right? This is it.
I mean, that's why I think they're saying it's so early. It's because we have short-term memory now. You know what I mean? People are going to forget about this, and when it comes back up, they'll be like, it's not that big of a deal. There's already people saying, well, I already have digital. It's not a big deal. I haven't bought physical. But what these people don't understand, Sarge, okay, is choice. Choice is the reason that games still have sales. Choice is the reason because of competition. I've talked about this morning. I've talked about it a little bit yesterday, right? Because up until this point, we've always talked about, digital's not bad, right? We all have digital. But when you lose the foundation of what the game is, there's no competition for box stores anymore. PlayStation, correct. Here, we'll just throw Xbox in this, and all of them, right, into the ring, right? When they all go digital and they all have their storefronts where you can only buy the Microsoft games from the Microsoft store. You can no longer buy it from Target or Best Buy or Walmart or GameStop or your mom and pop shop. You can no longer do Sony games in any of those locations as well, and you can only buy it from them. Then games don't go on sale. Everyone's like, right now, they're like, no. There's plenty of sales on PlayStation and Xbox right now all the time. They do give great sales. Yes. Do you know why? Because there's physical fucking games still, right? And they have to compete with these things. Do you guys remember when you used to go to Best Buy and they're like, hey, Target's got it for $10 less. And Best Buy's like, oh, we'll match the price. Because Best Buy doesn't want you walking out the door, because they know if you buy it there, you might buy something else, and they want to be the great, they want to be the business to have the customer to support them, right? Sony's like, it's all digital. You're going to support us regardless, right? And now Sarge has talked about this for years. Okay, they said they were supposed to be cheaper with the digital games. Never happened. And they get like, what was it, Sarge? Like 60-70% more on each of the stuff.
Well, you have to remember when the game was $50 or between $50 and $60. the middleman, which was the game store, took 22.5%.
Right, because they had to
Right?
ship it, they had to put it on shelves.
That's the cost, right?
Printing
So
the discs, all
so
this
when
stuff.
you got rid of the disc, think of it this way: when you got rid of the disc, the 22.5% that you spent that you were giving to the middleman, you now got back, right? So that's already an increase of 22.5% profit because now you don't have to pay out for the shipping and the middleman. Then remember they raised the prices up for $10. So that went up to $32 per game. So that's basically a 50% increase in the game, right? So between that and the, I guess you want to call it the explosion of labor costs, it never caught up. So the money they were making from not making manuals, discs, and whatever else didn't help them with all the hiring that they did for those years. It didn't make sense to me, and it still doesn't, because remember, during the time now, if you're just doing the regular math, during the time that everyone says GameStop was robbing the gaming industry, right? During that time where people were just buying from GameStop and not buying from the companies, because remember, GameStop sold the actual game and then the same game that was used because someone bought it, solved it, and brought it back the next week. So now the game, instead of being $60 new, is $50 used, but the $50 used goes all to GameStop as opposed to the $60. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember those years, right?
Yep.
So those years were the greatest growth in the gaming industry ever, with GameStop robbing them, right? The greatest growth in gaming happened during the years that GameStop was robbing them. So what happened?
They wanted that extra 60%.
What do you think I'm going to believe after all this time that we think that you're not making money?
They were making billions before.
Right. Now you're getting rid of GameStop. You're selling direct to yourselves and you control everything from soup to nuts. And you're still saying that you're not making enough money. You lying sacks of shit.
Right.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Even if I account for the labor costs, it's impossible.
Well, it's funny because Jez Gordon was on a podcast and he was talking about, he's like, just last year, Microsoft said they were the most profitable they've ever been. And then Satya Nadella comes out and says, yeah, we haven't made a profit. It's like, well, which one is it? Like, did you make a profit or you didn't make a profit? Were you lying then or are you lying now? I'm assuming you're lying now, right? To justify why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Real quick. Okay. There's a post here from, I'm not a big follower of Nib here on Twitter, on X. Okay. But I read through this and I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this because he's got data. And regardless if you like the person or don't like the person, he's got data here, and I like data, right? Data says stuff. So I double checked and went back, and I was like, all right, so this is correct for the stats and stuff because of the leaked information that was from Insomniac back in the day, right? So Nib here says, seen several quotes for PlayStation 78% digital full game sales, thus omitting important context. He says the figure includes countless digital-only releases from back catalogs to indie games, etc. Even Capcom revealed 84% of the sales were older catalog titles, many of which only available digitally. He says, so using such data is somewhat misleading. And I talked about this, right? Because
you're cherry picking data to make it sound what you want it to sound like.
They have people they talk to, and they're like, okay, send this to the outlets, talk to this person, tell them this is what we're doing, and then they leave out stuff, right? But they forget because they think it's on the internet and people don't remember stuff, right? It says to gauge real physical demand, you need to look back at the splits of games that released both physical and digital only. Now, thanks to Insomniac's leaks, we have such data in PlayStation first-party games. Now, these are from a couple years ago, okay? But if you look at this, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games here. Okay, out of the 10 games here, all except for 2 at the bottom here are physical copies at 77%, 76%, 71%, 70%, 66, 66, 61, 61, 51, and 39. Okay, all the other digital ones are way below except for MLB The Show, which is 61%, and Ghost of Tsushima, which is 49%, which is pretty damn close. Okay, it says, so per Sony's own internal data, 31 of 33 first-party games from their charts sold more physical than they did digital. Okay, it says Uncharted 4 actually has an insane 83% physical split, but that's also a couple of years back. It says, granted, it only covers through a few months into 2022, but can you see from other recent data things haven't drastically changed. For example, GSD data shows that 60% of Astrobot sales across Europe were physical. Now, obviously, he's only taking Europe because we don't have the data and they actually keep track of the physical sales over there. Okay. So what skews revenue and data more digital beyond digital only releases and platforms? The answer is games with live service components, especially multi-platform ones. As you can see from Sony's internal data, MLB has the highest digital split and is a live service game. It says generally the highly popular live service annually games such as Call of Duty, NBA 2K, FIFA, etc. have higher digital splits as gamers are constantly launching them, often daily, and don't want to constantly switching discs, thus skewing digital/physical splits. It says it's very different to single-player games, which also are shorter and have different play and consumer trends. So again, context matters. And then there's the massive audience of gamers that aren't even counted, that are in any of the data, countless customers that also buy and sell used physical games, which is true. Okay, what you were just talking about, because they simply can't afford as many new games, but still buy/own consoles, accessories, games, services, etc., and everything from poor parents and /kids. Okay, it says ultimately the data rejects the notion that physical is dead or meaningless, even if the digital accounts for overall line share of revenue/sales, especially when you look at things in the proper context or focus on single-player tentpole games, which PlayStation is bread and butter. Keep this in mind, platforms make 15% licensing fee from third parties on physical games, while they get 30% of the cut on digital. So just that alone, they're doubling what they make off of the digital compared to physical when they get their share. It says likewise, first parties loses 30% cut to retailers and physical, while they also keep all the revenue on digital. Okay. It says, as I said before, this move is to kill physical is more about PlayStation trying to make it far more profit and squeeze away the last remnants of a customer's ownership, control, flexibility, and resale, and could have greater negativity market ramifications. And
It's going
100%.
to happen.
Yeah, it is going to happen. It's not when it's going to happen. It is going to happen.
I mean,
and now there's a date for it.
But this is an actual thing where, in all honesty, you could say you can't do anything about it. But if gamers took a stand, if you just stopped buying stuff from Sony completely, just went PC, just cut them off, we could easily bankrupt them, right? They're already in trouble. If we stopped buying the products and stopped signing up for PSN and stopped signing up for all that stuff and just sacrifice your entertainment briefly for the sake of your own hobby that you seem to love so much, that you keep carrying the torch for, just stop buying, right? They need you to stay in business, right?
Right.
If the master plan is to cut you out of everything possible that you're going to have choice for and only buy from them, if I decide not to buy from you, then you don't exist. You don't get to keep selling whatever it is you're trying to sell because you won't be there.
Right.
We will move on to the next company. I don't look at this as an insurmountable thing to stop. Like, this is something that's completely plausible on solving. Remember, when Xbox tried to do this, everybody decided to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, the whole company went down for the last decade.
That's correct. Xbox went into the shitter.
Yeah.
Because of DRM. Xbox went into the shitter. So you think all of a sudden you can't do this to Sony as well?
Yeah, it's different timing now. You know what I mean? Like what Google Stadia tried to do a couple years ago didn't work, but now with cloud gaming, it's the same thing, but now it's not Google Stadia and their business model sucked, but they're going to try it again, right? They're going to try it again, but in a different form.
That's right, because it is a different form. Yeah. Instead of you having to buy the game twice, you don't have to buy it twice. You're just buying the service to get the game. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Eric Jones says, isn't Steam the same thing? No. Okay, this is a lot of people misconception of this. Yes, Steam is digital, right? And again, we're not complaining that games are digital. We're complaining that closed ecosystems. Okay, on a PC, you have choice, Jones, right? You have choice. You can buy a game from Steam. You can buy a game from Epic. You can buy a game from GOG. You can buy a game from, many different forms on a PC. The PC is the platform. Steam doesn't own the PC. Steam is just an app on the PC, right? And we always joke about this because on your main screen, you can have the Epic Store, you can have Amazon, you can have Steam, you can have GOG, and all you got to do is move your mouse.
Right, but you're comfortable and convenient, so you don't move your mouse.
Just a little bit. You have to do just this to move to the next thing, and everyone's like, nah, I like Steam, right? But you have choice, okay? And because you have choice, This is why people are trying to fight Steam, because they're like, Steam's like, well, you can't put it on a different site for lower cost than we have. You have to match. That's competition. There's competition there to get you. And if you really wanted to, you could pirate stuff. You can emulate stuff. You could do a whole bunch of things on the PC that you can't do on Microsoft, on an Xbox, on a PlayStation, or a Nintendo. Okay. If and when, okay, more when than if, okay, when Sony goes to the closed ecosystem and Xbox goes to their closed ecosystem, even then, at least there's better, because it's Xbox and there's the Microsoft store. So there's two spots and it's on your PC. And if you have a PC, you go to the Microsoft store, or you go to Steam, or you can go to this, or you can go to that. There's still choice on the PC. On the Xbox, it's only Xbox, right? It's only that store, and it's closed. You can't go to a secondhand store to pick up a secondhand game. You can't go to eBay. You can't go to any other place to pick up that game. Sony, the same thing. You're not able to do this. They control it, like Sarge said, from soup to nuts, okay? And they control the whole thing. They charge what they want to charge. They can keep it up in price the entire time, because there is no competition anymore. Zero competition. Right. So everyone thinks, oh, well, it's the same on Steam. No, it's not the same, because there's still choice on PC.
And let's not forget what they just did to movies. So you don't think that you're going to get 3 or 4 years worth of games, right? Don't you think they're going to get 3 or 4 years worth of games that you buy digital on PlayStation, and when the licensing runs out on your video games, what are you going to happen? You're going to just remove them from your hard drive too. What do you think's the difference? There is no difference.
Well, I had one here.
There is no difference.
The PlayStation.
That's the part that people don't get. It's because you're blinded by the fact that your convenience for your hobby and your comfortability with giving over your freedom of choice for your gaming, you don't see how it's going to affect it long term, because it doesn't. You think it doesn't affect you, but it does. When the day comes that the game that you like is only purchasable in one area and only and it never goes on sale, so you have to pay the price that they want to pay, that's basically a digital monopoly, right?
Correct.
And they're trying to find a way to circumvent the rules because it's digital, right? The part that I haven't looked up yet, and I gotta get back into this. I have got to look up the difference between the digital license and the licensing you had when you had a movie before. Because remember, when you turned on a video game, just like when you turned on a movie, the FBI warning comes up and it tells you cannot distribute, you cannot copy, you cannot sell. There's this whole list of stuff that you can't do, like the $250,000 fine and the 5 years in jail. Everybody has seen it. If you grew up during the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, you've seen the warning, right? So now in gaming, it's the same thing, except it's digital. But for some reason, when the licensing stops digitally, I'm going to remove it from your hard drive because I
take it away from you. Yeah.
Right. As opposed to my game being in my room or the disc being in my room. Nobody comes knocking on the door and saying, hey, the licensing for this is up. Give me back Terminator 2 DVD you have. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, they won't come to your house and take it away from you.
So what's the difference? Like, I sense
they're not coming to your house.
I sense lawsuit coming very quickly, though.
Well,
like you can't just remove shit that people bought from their hard drive because the licensing is done.
Right. Those people should keep it, and if you want to take it down and nowhere else can buy it, cool. But you can't take it away from people that already bought it.
But that's the argument.
Oh yeah,
that's the argument.
PlayStation is deleting 551 movies from customers' accounts, reminding us nothing digital is ever truly. So they have a deal that they had a license deal with another company that they're not going through. And because that contract's done and 551 movies were part of that contract, they removed them off this PlayStation Store. But while doing that, it deleted all those movies from people that bought the actual things, which, like, what are we talking about?
Right. You basically you stole from me, basically.
Right. And if you're going to ask for full price for the thing that I can't own, then I don't need to pay full price for the thing to watch. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's not how they look at it.
But that's how we look at it. Because if I'm giving you $20 or $50 to borrow your game that you're going to take from me or the movie that you're going to take from me, then I'm just going to pay a rental fee, which will be $5.
But that's what they want. But that's what they want. You see what's going on. They're going to take the movies away from you and then give you the service.
Right.
Like that's the game.
If I was a PlayStation owner right now, obviously I wouldn't go like scorched earth and be like, well, I'm selling my PlayStation 5. That's it. It's over. But I would never support them again. Like, if I would never buy anything again. I would be like, all right, well, PlayStation just sits there now. It doesn't do anything. And I don't buy any more Sony stuff until something changes. right? And I would do the exact same thing with Xbox if Xbox did something fucking stupid, right? Because I don't really buy Xbox games anymore. I just play Game Pass. Okay. So AAA games, $80, $90, $100 video games. No, not buying. I don't care if it's Grand Theft Auto. I don't care if it's Elder Scrolls 6. I don't care if it's Fallout, whenever comes out. Okay. I'm not buying these brand new games because I want a physical thing for certain games. Not all games. For certain games, I want the physical copy of the game because I want to collect it, just like I did with DVDs back in the day. I watched the movie. I was like, this movie's awesome. I'm going to go buy the DVD. Now I own that film. Now I can watch that movie anytime I want. Same thing I want to do with video games. There's certain games that I want to buy because I know I'll be like, well, this one day could be off and they could take it away from me. So I want to buy the physical disc. So when if they do that, I can put it in the machine, pop it in, and play the actual thing. And if you take that away from me,
I'm not a fan. Yes, but the issue now is language. They're trying to change the definition of the word ownership, and they're playing with semantics. If I go out and I buy something, it's mine. I get to use it what I want. That's why the warning's at the front. I can't copy it. I can't sell it. I can't sell it, make copies of it and sell it. Like I'm under the obligation of the licensing, which is I bought it. It's for me to use, right? But I can't misuse it. It's the same. It would be the same if it's digital or physical. It's the same. So the fact that they're trying to argue the fact of the term ownership and what the licensing fee covers is the issue. I'm curious to know who will start the ball rolling when the lawsuit starts, because I'm thinking that everybody who just lost 500 plus movies or a couple hundred movies, depending on which ones of the 500 you actually had that you don't have anymore. Like I'm assuming someone will say something, like something's going to happen. It can't just be you think that they're going to just walk in, jack everything, and no one's going to say a word because my reasons. Like that's not going to work.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
Well, they're already talking about that the next PlayStation reportedly already costs $960 in materials to manufacture. So obviously this is going to be like $1,200, right? And if this is true, and it's already $960, $1,000, $1,200, and then Sony comes out and says, well, it's not realistic for us to absorb all the component cost increases. Sony says we won't sell hardware at a significant loss as concerns grow over PlayStation 6 price,
but
right?
You guys caused the price to go up. You are the ones investing in all the AI data centers. Like that's what your companies are doing. So you're causing the chip price increase. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't understand how you could plead the fifth on this one. It's like you're the one bidding up the chips, right? That's why there's a lawsuit going on now for monopolizing the chips, right? And price fixing. Like that's the whole argument now. It's very strange how we reached this point, and everyone just still thinks they just add inflation. They go, well, it's just the way it is. Games are $100 now. You enjoyed your $60 for 3 years. It's time for it to go up. Like you understand the price of increase, right? Like the way you talk, you think inflation is 40% a year. Like inflation normally is like 2.5% to 4%. It varies like year on year. You're talking about like a 30% or 40% increase quarterly. And you're like, that's just the way it is. Like, no, buddy. Sorry. That's not how it is. That's not how pricing works.
Well, obviously, there's already a lawsuit going on. People are suing the companies because of the tariffs, because they charged us the tariffs.
Already been debunked.
What do you mean?
There's
2 people in California and one in Seattle.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying there's we went over this like a couple weeks back or last week.
Yeah, a couple weeks back.
The actual bill, if you read the bill that the president had gave the tariffs to, right? The chips that were included for the tariffs were chips to be used for data centers and things of that nature. That's tariffed. Consumer products, televisions, phones, home entertainment systems, those things were excluded from the tariff list. There's 2 levels of tariffs.
Correct.
So,
but
because they're paying more for the data centers, that cost they're pushing over into the consumer prices.
Correct. They set the price of the consoles, and the consoles set the price over to the customers.
Yes.
Now they want the refund because they didn't get the break.
Right.
So they're trying to get the money from the government, but then these guys are suing this, going, "You better come back to me because you charged us the price."
That's correct.
Yeah, that's not debunked. That's exactly what's happening.
No. The debunk part is the fact that the tariffs go to the chips that we're talking about for consoles and stuff. It's not
Correct.
included. Not
Right,
directly.
but the
Not
consoles,
directly.
but the consoles sent the tariff over to us to pay for the prices for the hardware that came over.
Yeah, that's correct.
And now they want their refund back from the government, but they're like, you charged us for the things, so we're suing you. We get the money, you don't get the money. So from that, right, there is a person that's supposedly fighting over, now we don't know if it'll happen, but the French presidential candidate, okay, Jean-Luc, of course it's Jean-Luc, right? Jean-Luc Mcculloch lashes out at PlayStation and Rockstar Games. He says, quote, with GTA 6 without the disc and Sony announces of ending the sales of physical discs, the question arises on how we consider these products, okay? The video game is not a simple commodity, and it's culture. It is a culture good, and the current legislation must apply to it. He says we're opening for work in 2027. Players also have rights. Now, this is overseas, right?
We'll see. Well, Europe has different standards.
Well, of course.
Like Europe
I would
doesn't have
love to see some standards here for consumer protection.
Yeah, but Europe doesn't have the same level of lobbyists that we have here, bro. We've got like
no, they scream. They're like, yeah.
We have like pro level lobbyists in this country. Like, have you ever seen lobbyists and like what they do for his job? Like we got next level guys here who are fighting for whoever they're fighting for. It's not the same in Europe. It's not the same. That's why all the nonsense happens over here, because lobbyists are paid a lot of money to glad hand a lot of guys, a lot of lawyers, a lot of judges, a lot of guys on committees. As soon as you hear the word committee, right, be rest assured a lobbyist has his lips attached directly to his ass. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's
any
like
committee
it's
you
like
hear.
Centipede from Saw.
Yeah, any committee you hear. If you hear the word committee mentioned in the gaming sphere, know that the lobbyist is attached directly to his ass.
He's like, what do you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We hear you. Did you hear that? All right.
It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's how things get done here, man. That's just that way it is.
So from that, we're now going to Xbox. Okay. Now, Xbox reportedly testing game-changing feature to digitize your physical games.
Yeah,
okay. So what they're saying here is they're coming up with something, Sarge, where if I take my disc, okay, and I put it into my new Xbox Helix, it says, oh, you own the Transformer game. Okay. We verify that, and you can now play this game on your thing, and it marks the disc as that's what it is, right? So it embeds it to your system. Okay. So it's sort of like the game share of Nintendo, right? Like I have the cartridge, even though it's digital. Okay. Now it's digitized the game onto
the access code.
Yeah, it became a key now. It's not actually playing off the actual thing, right? It's a key. So now, if I give you that disc, Sarge, and you put that in your Xbox, okay, it takes it off of my Xbox, okay, and now puts it on your Xbox. Now you have, so now I lose it off of my Xbox. That's what
is that true though?
That's what they're trying to do. They're testing it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, now this is better than what PlayStation's doing because there's no disc. At least with this, you can take your disc that you already have. If it's 360, if it's Xbox One, that they did say. Not all disc, right? It's I forget what the actual. It's compatible with certain discs, not all, right? It says company is phasing out the disc drive. Where is it? I saw it yesterday. But basically, it says not all. Prevent current Xbox Series X owners from using the existing physical games on the new system. According to a report, The Verge, Xbox is looking into the way that players could digitize their physical games and head on to the new system's launch. Details have not been officially confirmed, but users would basically get a digital entitlement for the game to be putting on the Xbox with the disc drive. That entitlement is specific to each disc and would also belong to Xbox users across the systems as long as the disc isn't sold or lent to another user. If someone else were to put that game in their Xbox console, they would then get the digital entitlement. Okay?
Yeah, so basically a game for a game. It's not like a copy of the game going over to a different system.
Sure, but at least there's still a secondhand market then.
No, true. But at the same time, what that really is doing inventory for games in the wild. That's really what that's doing.
Correct. Right? Obviously, we don't want this either. We just want to put disc in.
I mean,
play the game.
I bought your product. Leave me alone. Like that should be the end of the transaction. Like I purchased the game. It's mine. Leave me alone. Like that should be the end of it.
Do you know what's going to happen, Sarge? Remember we talked about this. Sony has a patent. Right, the patent was those. I remember what the article's picture was. right? Maybe Krebs, you can find it for me again. It looked like cartridges, but they were hard drives. You guys remember this? They were like hard drives
Like a
that were
flash
like
drive.
they
Like
look
a
like
flash
the
drive?
Atari cartridges, right? They look like old Atari cartridges, but they were just PlayStation and had the little label up on the top of it. And remember what I said back in the day? I said games are gonna get so big, okay, that you're not gonna have discs anymore. You're gonna have hard drives, and you're just gonna plug the hard drive into your system because it's gonna be too expensive, right? So you'll buy like the next
I see
Call
what
of
you're
Duty,
saying.
it'll be like 200 gigs, right? And you're not
You're
gonna have
buying,
space.
you're buying a flash drive. Yeah, yeah.
Right, you're not gonna have any space on your PlayStation or your Xbox, or whatever. So you have to buy these drives. Now they did have a patent back in the day for this. You're gonna run out of a lot of space. These games are getting really fucking big, right? I don't think Grand Theft Auto is like 30 gigs. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like 200 gigs. Once it's all said and done.
I think probably bigger than that.
But whatever,
We'll
right?
see. We'll see.
So if you buy a PlayStation, you buy an Xbox 1 terabyte. What do you put in 5 games on your system?
3 games.
Right. So you got there's going to be more space. They're going to be selling more space for you to put into your PlayStation, your Xbox, or your yeah, we're going back to the old days of Dreamcast and stuff where you have a little slot card that you have to put in.
But at the same time, I think that they realize that they don't want to go that route. So I'm pretty sure the route is cloud gaming. I'm pretty sure that's the end game for everything.
Of course it is.
It makes the most sense. If we're saying I don't want any more physical stuff, we're not going to put it on a physical flash drive or hard drive for you to buy. I'm going to just sell it on the service.
Correct. Right. So you either buy the service. If you don't want to pay $80, $90, $100 games, then you're going to rent the service.
I mean, we talked about that a long time ago. We said that once it settles down, once the chaos happens and cloud gaming takes control and they say they want $30 a month, like that to me would make more sense. But like, I think when they did it now and everyone freaked out about it to go to $30 and everyone panicked and just canceled all the subscriptions, they realized that they're not ready for $30 because the value isn't there. So I think what Xbox and Asha are now doing is they're trying to figure out what has to happen in order for the value to be implemented for an Xbox subscription service, not called Game Pass, an Xbox subscription service to be $30 a month, and you would be okay with it. I think that's what's on the agenda.
Krebsy found it, but this is not the exact article. I remember there was a couple of pictures of these types of discs, but let's see what this one says. Okay, so it says PlayStation. This is back in 2019, right? See my brain. I know. I remember seeing articles. We talked about this, right? So PlayStation cartridge patent registration in Brazil by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Okay, this is back before the PlayStation 5 came out. It says, "Let's Go Digital" is an updated original story shared by cartridges, indeed going to be used for Tiro's system rather than the PlayStation 5. A recently published trailer added below demonstrates a similar cartridge to be seen as a patent. So it's probably for like a kid's toy or whatever. A PlayStation cartridge patent has been registered for Sony Interactive Entertainment earlier this year in Brazil, as spotted Dutch website. So, Sony has also used Kaisner Leonardo's as a local IP agent to submit applications. The design of the PlayStation cartridge was realized by Senior Art Director, Corporate Design Center, Sony Interactive Entertainment, and responsible for all products associated with the PlayStation brand in his 15 years with, okay. Let me see what it says here. Needless to say, the credibility of the rumor would be purpose of the PlayStation cartridge remains unclear at this point. Sony has never used the cartridge for in-home consoles before, but PlayStation 5 has already been officially confirmed to feature a Blu-ray drive with triple layer discs and up to 100 gigabytes. On the other hand, Sony did use a cartridge for PlayStation Vita in the latest handheld console release. So let's see. I don't know what this is.
It's plausible. It's plausible.
Sure. Oh God. That off.
I remember this.
Right. So
I remember that.
They have a little cartridge thing, but why would you make a patent just for this type of stuff? You know what I mean? So they have a lot of patents they don't ever actually use.
No, but they're planning ahead.
Right. Well, they have the biometric patent. They have the advertisements where you're screaming at your screen when you say McDonald's, and so you can verify you're watching a commercial of McDonald's, so you don't have to watch the commercial anymore. Right. They have a lot of different patents. But
that one still makes me laugh. When a commercial comes on and you don't want to listen to it, you scream out what it is, so it goes away.
So it goes away. It's like people have Tourette's. They're like watching something like Burger King. You're like, what the hell happened? You're all right? Yeah, it's just an ad. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you, Mom.
It just sounds evil, right? Because you're trying not to watch the commercial, but meanwhile you're screaming out shit to get rid of it. It just sounds bad, man.
Yeah, but think about hard drive prices are going up too, Shadow, right? So they're going to run out of space if everything's fucking digital.
Well, you would have to convince me. Like I remember the story we talked about, and I told you a long time ago that they were really close to having data transfers in in the petabytes per second,
yeah.
right? And so I'm thinking that in order for cloud gaming to be viable, that technology must be very close. Because if I can do petabytes through a hard line, then cloud gaming is basically a reality. That's where we are. So now we talked about that years ago. I don't remember the name of the story, who wrote the article, but we did talk about it. I remember talking about it, right? They were really close into being, because I think that article talked about transferring the data of the internet, transfer the entire internet in like 3 minutes or like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like the entire internet, that the data transfer would take 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, that kind of data transfer is obscene. So for gaming purposes, that's cloud gaming.
Well, what's funny, I'm getting to the point right now because we download and test games out off of Game Pass, right? And instead of playing on the cloud, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll download it. But if I don't have room, I'll be like, I'll play it on the cloud type of stuff. But I'm at the point now where I have like 26 games internally, and then I have the external storage as well.
You're welcome.
But if I want to add another game, I got to delete a game, and then add that game, right? And it's like, for instance, Crimson Desert. To put Crimson Desert on my 1 terabyte, I had to remove games I haven't been playing for a while.
Sure.
So now, instead of getting up off my couch, hitting the disc tray, taking the disc out, putting another disc in, right, putting the thing in, now I have to go.
So inconvenient. Yeah, so delete, barbaric.
I'm gonna upload the other thing, and now my download speed, all right, that'll be 20 minutes. So instead of just getting up and putting the disc in and then starting it, now I gotta wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes
to insert. Barbaric.
Well, you know what I'm saying? We're going backwards here.
Let me tell you a little glitch I think I found in the system. Remember a while back when I told you I had ordered the 1 terabyte hard drive, the little card for the Xbox? Remember?
And you got one for free.
And they sent me 2.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that was weird, and I waited. Nobody called me back. No one wanted to know where it was, and I'm like, it was like a $300 item, and they sent me 2 of them, and I'm like, I didn't get charged for it, and I'm confused. I'm like, okay. So then I sent you one, right? Now here's another story. One of my buddies from work said, this is like a few weeks back before the price hikes had started happening.
Uh-huh.
And he said he had bought an Xbox Series X through Amazon. Okay. So a week passed.
They gave him 2 Xboxes.
10 days passed. He gets a box in the mail and he goes, this is really heavy. Right. And he opens it up and there's 2 Xboxes inside there.
What the fuck?
Right. I'm not lying. He showed me the photo. He showed me the photo of the box and the 2 Xboxes inside. I said, okay, so you got charged twice, right? And he goes, nope. I'm like, nobody called. Nobody said anything that we sent you 2 fucking Xbox Series X's. No, not S's, X's. And I'm like, he showed me the photo, Mike. I'm like, so what did you do? And he's like, I'm really upset. He says, I sold one, but I sold it too early. He said, because all the price hikes happened. And he said, if he just waited a little longer, he could have got more money for it. I'm like, bro, you had 2 Xboxes and you sold one? He's like, yeah, what was I going to do with it? I'm like, that's madness, bro. So something's going on at the Amazon distribution center. I'm letting you guys know.
They probably got the Costco ones that they couldn't sell.
Something's just sitting here.
2-for-1 special. Just buy an Xbox,
bro. 2-for-1 memory card is one thing, but 2-for-1 hardware like that, and no questions. That's crazy.
I bought a 2 terabyte Samsung SSD on Amazon. And they sent me 2.
See, something's going on, bro.
What's going on?
Something's going on. Like, guys, I'm not saying
send me anything from Amazon. Let me know. Like what's happening? There's 2-for-1.
I listen. All I'm saying is I thought it was a fluke, but then it starts repeating. Right? The guy from work, Dupla, says it. I know another guy, something happened to. They got sent to the same thing. I'm like, and it's not like that. There's too many numbers on the order where it says like, I'm requesting a 2 terabyte thing for one thing. You know, when there was multiple numbers, somebody misreads it. Like, but I don't think you can misread 2 Xbox Series X's for the price point. It just doesn't make sense.
All right, real quick.
That's crazy, Shadow.
Aku sent in a $2.
That's full blown crap. What do you mean a case? A case has 6. What are we talking about?
Aku sent a $2 super chat. It says committee means a short-haired Karen is in there. Thank you very much for the super chat. You get a surprise. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, so that way I don't have to say it, right? That sounds good. So,
Thank you, Aku.
$2 super chat. There you go.
That I just think that's nuts. And Shadow's talking about cases now. Come on, man. Everyone simmer down. Put down the whiskey. Let's calm down.
The next story I want to talk about is Jez Gordon was on a podcast and he talks about this, and the podcast is down here and he says it himself, but I'll just read it. Okay. It says, rumor, Jez Gordon says that Microsoft is lining up buyers for Xbox studios. He says, I've heard this is that Microsoft has lined up buyers for some of these studios already, but things are moving very fast and things are in flux. He says, quote, I just read what he quoted, but I don't know why they said it twice. Quote, I heard one rumor that one studio has gotten a buyer and then that deal fell through because it didn't like Microsoft's terms and then it found a new buyer. It continues by saying, it says, I've had that Microsoft management team and their executives are flying all over the world to try to save these studios. It says, I also will be a PR disaster if they cancel State of Decay, which is State of Decay 3, which is on the chopping block potentially, right?
I don't understand.
It says, right? So it says, so from what I've heard, the plan is that they can't find a buyer. They'll try to see those studios through to complete in what has been announced. All right. So hopefully that's good for State of Decay. So they'll send it out the door and then they'll fire them. Then the best case scenario is some of these studios do find a buyer, but there's also some of the studios that could either go there, could be independent. They also could be bought out by individuals who also sold the company originally. So sort of like what happened to Hightail. Hightail sold to Riot Games and then Riot Games sold it back to the original guy. So maybe stuff like that is happening. Okay. And then the last part here, it says, we're going to see it from next week. They're going to see a combination of studios going independent. Sounds like it's going to be a busy next week, Sarge, for GXG. Going independent, the studios being sold to the publishers, and potentially some smaller studios potentially being closed. But then I would expect also headcounts across the board. I think every studio is going to have layoffs, at least some layoffs, right? So that's huge. So that's what Jez Gordon has reported on the podcast, is what he's basically what he said. So what else we got going on for that? We have don't need that one. We got this one. Yeah, Xbox has been promising State of Decay 3 for years, and now it could be facing cancellation despite its trailers and alpha. What are we even doing here, right? So this is by Jez Gordon. Like, this is mind-boggling to me. This is failure of upper management on the 10th degree. Do you know, like, how do you show stuff like this and then going to cancel it?
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think in the corporate world, do you think there's some kind of, I guess, law or rule written that if the game is canceled outright, they're allowed to claim it on taxes as a loss, as a full loss? But if it comes out, you make what you make and the loss is taken. You know what I mean? Like, is there something that in the bylaws or something for tax purposes that if the product is canceled outright before launch, you can claim the loss as full, as opposed to taking the loss when it comes out and you have to sell it? You know what I mean? Because otherwise, why would you cancel? Why would you cancel a game that's this close to the finish line?
Yeah, they've done it before, right? A lot of games, even
many
Blackbird.
times.
Yeah, Blackbird, the other game from ZeniMax, that's the MMO, the new MMO. They said they were like 85% done with the game. It was like close, and now they closed it down. It's like I don't get it. It's like right now, if someone's like, "Hey, I have an idea for a game," you cancel that one, right? Because they don't even have it on the napkin yet, right? You close that studio. These guys that have games that have been in the incubation process for 4 years, 5 years, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're at the finish line. You might as well put it out.
But if
they know if they put it out, they got to put an additional like 200 million or whatever it is to market.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that by the law of corpo, how much money can I save if I don't
do a
release
tax write-off and get
right?
Some
if
back,
I don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the people. It doesn't matter about the game's almost done. It matters is how much money can we get back if we write it off as a loss, as opposed to going through with it and trying to see how much money it makes.
Yeah.
Right. Because the fear right now
100%
is
plausible.
the fear right now is, regardless of what's coming out, their fear is it's not going to make back the money because we can't sell it in the numbers that we want, even though they're not even trying. They're just saying, we know, because of everything else that's happened so far in the last 3 or 4 years, they're just like, well, we're not going to sell the numbers that we need. So we might as well just write it off and get back as much money as we can, as opposed to releasing it. Like, that's got to be what it's. Otherwise, why do it? Right? If you're thinking like a suit, that's got to be the reason. There's no other reason why you would stop yourself from making a profit, unless the loss is a refund in the back end at the end of the year, right?
I mean, like I said, it's probably work out like that. I know for movies it does that, right? If movies come out and they put a certain amount of money, they can get a certain percentage back instead of putting money in to advertise it and then be a bomb at the box office.
Right.
They can just write it off and they'll get a percentage back.
That makes sense. It has to be something along those lines.
So the next thing we're going to talk about, Sarge, is Bethesda veteran warns Elder Scrolls 6 faster schedule could gut features, yet 10 years spells ultimate failure. So this gentleman worked for them and said, look, throwing more people at a game doesn't make the game. It makes it feature incomplete. I read this earlier in the week. So what he's talking about here, he's like, look, they think if they just throw stuff at it, and my best example that we've seen recently, Sarge, is the 5 studios that worked on Battlefield 6 to get it out the door. And when they got it out the door, obviously it's missing features because they rushed out the door. And Grand Theft Auto was supposed to launch last year. It got pushed to this year. Battlefield 6 saw their opening. They took it, but they put out an incomplete. Even though people loved it, it wasn't feature complete. Okay. So he's saying that because Asha Sharma came out and said, well, our priorities now is that we want to get, Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout, the next Fallout, out there. So that's our priority. And because we're putting priority, he's saying that, look, if you do that, it's not going to work out. He says there's a old in software development about process having 3 corners: resources, time, and quality, which includes both features and polish. Nesmith told the FRVR that the studio decides 2 of them, which determines the third. If you lock down the resources, staff, and equipment, etc., and the schedule, that decides the quality you also achieve. Number of features and polish. If you lock down the quality and the schedule, that determines the resources you will need to complete the project. You can't dictate all 3. Only 2. He says, unless known aspect of this rule is of diminishing returns. The 3 corners need to be a roughly balanced. You can't ask a project to be done a month by throwing 1 million people on it. Okay, overcommitting to any one corner increases friction, and because less effective. Allowing 10 years of project creates a cycle of endless renovation and ultimate failure.
So then what can I say about Grand Theft Auto 6 then? If we're following that logic,
18 months,
right? If we're following that logic, and they've been working on it for 10 years, so
I don't think it's been working on for 10 years, but yeah.
You want to do 8 years?
I think it was like I'll say between 6 and 8. Yeah.
So what do you think they have? We know they have the funds.
Yeah.
And we know they have the schedule.
Yeah.
So the quality is the quality is the limit.
Well, no, because
right?
the quality, they definitely have quality, right? You would think.
So then what's the third thing? Like, if we're going to do the 3-leg, we're going to do the 3-leg.
Well, let's go back.
What would Grand Theft Auto be?
The 3 is the number. Okay, staff, equipment, etc. So you have to have 2, which includes both features and polish.
Right, Shadow? It would be the years, right? Because you have the money and you have the resources.
Yeah,
you have the money and you have the quality.
Yeah.
Right. So the years is what you didn't decide, because that's what happened.
Yeah, it would be the years.
It would be the years. Correct. Correct, Shadow. I agree with that.
Yeah, it would be the years. Which, what is it for Redfall? They guys like, I don't want to work on the game.
No, that was definitely schedule and resources, right? Because
they only
didn't have the
one.
quality, no quality.
They didn't have the 2.
Right,
they
schedule
only
and resources,
one.
but not quality. Yeah.
They had resources, but no schedule and no quality is what they had.
No, that's Concord.
They only chose one.
Yeah, Concord had a Concord had a trapezoid. It wasn't a triangle.
Poorly.
It wasn't a triangle. It was a trapezoid. That Concord was a misshape to begin with.
Yeah, so there's that. So look, I don't want them skipping corners on games like this. Like, take your time with this, but putting more people on it, like a Battlefield 6,
all hands on deck.
Yeah, doesn't make it a better game. People like Battlefield 6 and whatnot, but holy shit.
Yeah, but what they proved for Battlefield 6, though, you have to be honest. The all hands deck approach and the complete blitz against Call of Duty.
Staff and
Made them-
resources,
Right.
no quality.
Made them sell a lot of copies.
Sure.
Even though there was no staying power, it didn't matter.
Well, that was
because they
marketing.
got their money.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They got
No,
their
no,
money.
no. But they had the staff, they had the resources, but they didn't have the quality. And because they didn't have the quality, they threw marketing at it. Okay, and they made a shit ton of money because of the marketing. They tricked the people that were Call of Duty fans to come over and play, and that's where they got the extra 10 million from.
They got their money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Can't deny that. They got 20 million sales. What else we got going on here? Okay, another person here at Microsoft.
Wasn't that the highest selling one in a while? That was
Ever.
the highest selling one. Oh, ever. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was like just for recent.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's ever. It's close because I think 23 million was the biggest one. And that was
one.
I think it was Battlefield 1. Yeah. Okay. Another person at Microsoft says, look, I can't do my job when Microsoft refuses to do theirs, says Xbox union worker, as destructive reset looms from the company that spent over $80 billion last year. Okay. Morgan Gore, a senior encounter designer at ZeniMax Online, who has also been through a ringer, already being caught in the stock closure of Arcane Studios Austin, which is Redfall, and losing out months of employment before finding her feet, says that there's also a clear gap between what we need and how Microsoft talks about us publicly and how we're also being treated across all studios. As a union rep, feels like Microsoft only is talking the talk and have been entrusted with the responsibility to advocate for the co-workers. I cannot do my job when Microsoft refuses to do theirs. This isn't just affecting the one studio, it's one department. It's affecting all of us, and we refuse to be left in the dark as the company decides restructuring in a way that seriously affects all of us. It says, quote, we're being treated as expendable, right? Valued 1 week and cut the next. Why would a game developer bother to put forward their best work under these conditions?
100%.
Hard work and great games do not save you from layoffs under Microsoft, right?
100%.
Right.
100%.
So they don't know what they're doing. They're constantly changing. And then next week, obviously, I think we're going to have a packed show of layoffs and stuff like that. I think Abe Vigoda is going to make a few calls next week, right? Microsoft doesn't invest in anything, and yet I think at the bottom of this thing it says,
well, it's not that they didn't. It's not that they didn't invest. It's that they want guaranteed returns. There's no such thing as a guaranteed return on a video game,
right?
You listen. Remember, they have all the stats. They have all the information. They know how many people buy games a year. They know the demographics of all the people that have a console and a PC. Like they know all the They know all the variables. To invest this much money over this much time to try to pump out a game at the level that they did, there was no fathomable reason that they were going to get returns on all those products, because you would have need to sell you would, at the level that you kind of produce them, you'd have need to sold at least 10 million copies, anywhere between 8 and 10 million copies of each of these games in order to be profitable for the level that they were developing. There's no way that you were going to make money on most of these games. You spent too much money.
Look at this last part over here. It says, his feelings generally agree with the outsider, and one won't stop being exhausted. But the video game industry has been experiencing massive growth, and the CEO, like Microsoft, owned Satya Nadella, took home hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, now Nadella pay jumped 22% between 2024 and 2025.
Right. They're not making any money, though, bro.
Last year, Microsoft made $27.2 billion in 3 months.
That's correct.
Okay, and also planned to invest $80 billion in AI infrastructure. For the record of $80 billion is enough to keep a studio of 200 mid-salary game designers at $113,000 annually, paid for 3,539 years.
That's correct. That's the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. Yes, that's exactly correct.
Meaning, if they took the $69 billion that was for Activision, instead of buying Activision, they could have paid and made all of these other games.
That's correct.
For the entire lifespan of this current generation and next generation of studios and games, and with money left over, right? But right, they have to have we're not profitable, even though they've been the most profitable.
If you believe that they're not profitable, there's something wrong with you. Go back to Business Class 101, please. Please stop listening to the journalists. Please stop listening to the fact that you think that they're not profitable. I'm done listening. I'm done listening to everything they have to say about them not being profitable. if you got the best pay raise you've ever had in your life in the company, where the actual industry is on fire and you're firing off anyone, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Like, I get you make bad decisions, but think about, I want to go back just briefly for a moment, how much profit they did make over the quarter and over the last year. How is Sony, how do you purchase, according to the articles now,
about Microsoft or Sony? Because we're talking about Microsoft.
There's two stories. I'll put that one. Okay. I'll put a pin in the other one. Like, how do you spend that much money buying studios at that level, knowing full well that you're not going to get a return back immediately, but still be the most profitable in the last couple of years? And you decide that you're going to let them go. That's madness, bro.
Well, you can talk about Sony now because we're about to talk about
Destiny.
Madness. Destiny has two sentences, right? A 2-sentence insider reported on why Destiny 2 died. Now, I know.
It's by Tassie. Okay.
I know why Destiny died. I've talked about they don't know how to handle money. And I knew for a fact that Destiny was going to kill Destiny because Bungie didn't know how to spend money. Okay, here's the 2 sentences, right? I don't need to read the whole article. This is the 2 sentences that the gentleman said. He says, because of the enormous scale of content that had to be produced nonstop, to the fans' revolt against its scarcity, Destiny was only very rarely profitable during its entire lifespan. Imagine that.
I'm calling shenanigans.
You could call bullshit. Yeah,
I'm calling shenanigans because if that sentence is correct and factual, then why would Sony buy Bungie for $3.6 billion if it was barely profitable for the 10 years that it was on?
Well,
explain
it. I will. Maybe the second sentence will help out a little bit here,
Doubtful.
Right? It says, when Destiny was profitable, those extra funds were often immediately misused by leadership at the time, funneled into ways too many simulation incubation projects, okay, or ideas like spending tens of millions on a new, unneeded 208,000 square foot headquarters in the middle of Seattle. Right? Like, I said this when they did this back in the day. I was like, why are they building a 208,000 square foot? They expanded so much. Content wasn't coming out at a record pace. Okay. They were spending money left and right. When I tell you, I saw this back in 2016 when I was just talking to people that worked at Bungie. I went, man, oh man, these people do not know. When I tell you, it's like people won the lottery and they just like, I'm going to buy cars. I'm going to buy a new house. I'm going to buy this thing. And we just saw Laura Fryer's video today, and she had little bits and pieces of like Double Fine, and Double Fine had to get moved to a new studio, and they had like a yoga room and a board game room and I'm like, are they fucking making games, or is this like a gym membership? Like, what the fuck's happening at these companies, man?
It's like a hippie retreat. Yeah.
They're like, namaste. Are you working on the the background? Give me 1 second. You're disrupting my chi.
My chakras are out of alignment.
Off alignment.
I need to get my mantra tea ready before I can start the day's work. Let me get everything. When I watched that video that she did, all I kept saying over and over again is, when are you guys going to get to work? All you guys are talking about is your playgrounds and your yoga centers and your coffee shops. I'm like, what are we talking about, man? When do you go to work? Do you understand? There had to be money. I'm just burning a hole in their pocket, bro.
Speculation here. Just speculation. I'm not saying they did this, but they have to be laundering money somewhere, right?
Oh, for sure.
208,000 square foot new studio, right? And you weren't profitable? Like, if you take sentence 1, and they said they're barely profitable, but when they were profitable, they didn't know how to spend the money, and they blew it on a 208,000 square foot place in the middle of Seattle. Okay. I just don't get it. Imagine expanding to 200,000 square foot, then laying off 800 people. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. So, and then people still think it's Sony's fault. Do you see this, Sarge? People still believe Sony's the reason that Destiny's closed. Sony was like, what are we doing here?
Definitely not Sony.
Right? Sony's like, we're not dealing with this shit, right? You're fired. We're closing the studio down. You guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like a frat house in here. Okay, not a frat house like they're doing. Like they're just blowing money left and right. They're like, how many foosballs tables do you need? Right? How many board games are you playing? What are we paying for here? Right? You can barely keep the thing up, and then all of a sudden, everyone loves Destiny now again, Sarge, because there's so much content. Because they took all the minimal viable product content they were going to release over the next 6, 8, 9, 12 months, and they all put it into one lump sum, and everyone's like, "Oh, Destiny's great again."
Hold on, I got a price. Hang on.
Okay,
give me the square footage of
208,000 square feet.
All right, hang on. I got it. I got a good number. Hang on. What was it? 200 and what?
208,000 square feet.
208,000 square feet. Okay, so roughly the average price to purchase, not to lease, to purchase office space in Seattle, where they are.
This was brand new, by the way.
No, I understand. This is what it costs to build. What it costs to build.
Yeah,
Right. I did that. Right.
Okay.
So $465 a square foot.
Okay.
Times 208,000 square feet, which is $96,720,000. Right. And that's not counting overages and everything else. Right.
Yeah. And they're worried about Pete Parsons' $2 million car collection.
Right. Car collections. Okay. It's madness. Like, you don't understand the madness that Bungie was. Like, I understand that everyone had fun with the game, but they got lucky and it was madness. $96 million to build a studio that you could lease. You could lease it. You could lease it.
Fucking stupid.
It's crazy.
It really is stupid. It really is stupid.
Absolutely absurd.
Speaking of absurdity and stupidity, sorry.
But you realize that's also crazy. Like, once again, the mergers and acquisition division of Sony looked into the history of Bungie, looked at the last 15 years of revenue projections and over what they made and what they projected, and they said that $3.6 billion was fair. And then immediately after, lost half the value during their impairment, and then said we're gonna fire half the people. That makes absolutely zero sense. I want to see the article that says leaders of the mergers and acquisitions of Sony were fired without pay. Like, I had to see that article,
right?
Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. On paper, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
Well, next story, Sarge, is all the console, all the computer, everything's going up in price, and the RAM manufacturers have been sued for allegedly fixing the prices and supply, leading to increased costs. Right, so they're basically the
class action. The class action doesn't mean that you're going to get like back $25.
Yeah, even if
you get the point is
$500 million, it doesn't matter. It's a drop in the bucket.
Well, it's not the fact of catching them and getting a class action lawsuit. It's a fact that it's happened in the past already. They pay the fine and they move on.
Yeah, it was like 2005,
they don't care.
2006.
So
yeah.
The fine isn't big enough to substantiate them stopping the process by which they work. That's just how it is, right? So if we're making billions of dollars a month and the fine is $300 million for doing it, then I don't care that we get caught doing it.
Correct. There's no punishment.
I'm making
like,
right.
They just write the check.
Just write the check.
Oh, hold on a second. I missed the zero. There you go.
Yeah.
You put it. They're like, all right, are we good? We're good. Okay. All right, guys, just keep doing what we're doing.
No, it matters though, because at least it puts eyeballs on them. That's kind of important. But
sure. Yeah. No. It has to go through. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not going to mean anything. It does mean stuff but even if it goes through, these guys are just going to write a check. It doesn't fucking mean anything because they're going to continue doing what they're doing because they did it before. They'll do it again. These manufacturers of cards, NVIDIA got caught stealing with their hand in the cookie jar years ago when they had a subsidiary company buying the stuff and then raising the prices. You know what I mean? They all do these side-eyed, that meme with the little black kid and he's got his hand on his chest. He's like side-eyeing it. You know what I mean?
But this is why you lost the innocence once the corporations started realizing how much money they can make in the hobby that we love. Once corpos started getting involved, the numbers that they knew they could make changed the industry, right? So you didn't get this kind of thing beforehand. You didn't get this kind of manipulation beforehand because it was just a hobby. It's just a bunch of nerds playing video games. Nobody cares. But when those nerds made a game that made hundreds of millions of dollars, The
Yeah,
little they
what can we
perk
do?
up. Yeah, they perk up. They come out of the woodwork. They go, wait, what do you mean the video game made $290 million? Like, well, we should go see what these guys are doing. And so they start sniffing over. And once they started embedding themselves into our hobby and purchasing companies and making them into corporations and started making them for profit instead of just making product, right? It has to be corporate salute all the way. And so the manipulation starts slow. As you guys all know, took 20 years. It took 20 years for the infiltration to finally corrupt the system enough to where it's not even recognizable anymore, right? If you remember the games 20 years ago and you look at a game today, it's night and day difference. Even the games that succeed are night and day differences, right? And let's think about this. How many cancellations of games did we have back during the what we call, because we're old guys now, the golden age of gaming? Like
there wasn't
a lot of
they put them out because if they were broke or buggy,
right? If you're right,
they
broke,
had to send it out.
You had to send it out. We have to make some kind of money. Yeah,
right. And that was their goal, to make almost a complete game. And the game was complete, but they're like, it's done. We couldn't add any more. It wasn't like extra content.
It's not.
We'll add DLC down the road if we can, right? But this is it. If we make enough money from this, then we can continue on.
Right. But it's not 100% success. You can't predict that if a game is going to do well or not. That's the part that they didn't recognize. They just thought that this IP makes millions of dollars, so we're going to invest in this company because it makes millions of dollars. And then hey, here's an idea. If we find the games that make hundreds of millions of dollars and we buy them all and put them in the same studio that we control, then we'll just make hundreds of millions of dollars every time the game comes out. Like, that's the logic. Yeah, that's not what happens.
That's
not what happens.
Marvel and stuff like that. Yeah, same thing.
It's not what happens. It's actually kind of sad, but we did get the cream of the crop over the years, though. We did get it. We got the goods.
No, look, there's still great games coming out today.
Yes, but under a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah, but there's also really hard to find them because there's a shit ton of games coming out, right?
Yeah,
it's impossible to put any amount of time into 20 games in a year, like really dive into like 20 games a year, right? There's already, I think, 12,000 games this year at the midway point.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the same example as when they started making trashy games back during the first crash, but it is to where you really can't get noticed. So you have the high-end guys losing money and you have the low-end guys not being noticed. So like there's this little layer in between of the double A
Can you break into that in that
yeah, like
in
are you noticed? Did we spend enough money and can we get noticed? Like that's
right. What's our
that's
budget?
level.
Can we get past that point to make a profit, right? A lot of people don't make a profit, but hey, that's it. A lot of people open businesses up and they're not successful, right? A lot of people try out for baseball, don't make the team.
80%
like,
of businesses fail. Yes.
Everything's hard, right? The best make the thing, and sometimes it's not the best.
But that's how it's supposed to work,
right?
That's how it's supposed to work.
Right?
Yeah, so, but you want that in all aspects of the economy. You want the best of the best to rise to the top. Is it in anything else? Just like in the beginning when the nerds made games, is it hard to make a video game back then? Yeah, dude. Guys are in their garages coding for fucking months and years. There's 10 guys in a room. They're not doing it but coding, right? So the product at the end, did it succeed enough to be noticed? And for the best nerds at the time, we got the games that we got because they were good at what they did. Right. They stuck together and they made multiple titles that did really well because they worked well together. They knew each other. They all had the same vision. You can't put those people into a corporate suit and do copy pasta. It doesn't work.
Right. We've read stories about it already tonight. All right.
Doesn't work.
Let's get this going up here. Oh, look, the little bars up on the other one. Okay. It says, if you guys have a question, put a Q in front of your question. We'll mark it and then we'll maybe answer it in the Q&A. As before we do that, we got two smaller stories, Sarge, that I want to talk about while people are submitting stories. I wanted to show this made me laugh, Sarge. This made me laugh.
This isn't real though, bro.
This is real.
This is not real. Is it real?
This is real. Okay. So Captain America is this is a new thing inside. Now, I don't know if you guys notice If you guys could tell around, I don't know, like the mid-region area there, like he's got jiggle physics going on. I gotta say, Captain America is well endowed. You know what I'm saying, right? So this is what they showed, and this is the front. No, if you have kids in the room, go ahead and cover their eyes for a second because you're gonna get shocked.
You're gonna get iPhone.
Okay, now
this cannot be something that kids are playing, bro.
This is real right here. This is right. This is look at him. He is packing. Right, Captain America is packing. What's he smuggling in there?
Kind of looks like Guile from Street Fighter. It doesn't look like Captain America.
I just love they put jiggle physics on the man's dick. Right? They're like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because it's like, where's the backlash to this? I can't live on these standards.
Honestly, that can't be the real skin. Maybe it's just if this is the real skin,
this is the skin, Sarge.
Someone is gonna have a conniption, bro.
Okay.
Someone's gonna have a full-blown conniption. When is this released? When does this come out?
It's out. This is it. This is the new.
This is out now.
Yeah.
This is not like a soon to come. This is out right now.
This is coming out. This is coming out. I think it came out today or comes out next week or whatever. Maybe it's already out today. Yeah.
Bro.
Have you seen Storm's new summer skin? I haven't. Does she have a dick like this? What's happening? Does she have what's going on?
That's madness, bro. Come on, man.
Storm's summer skin has ass jiggle.
The game is supposed to be for kids, bro.
It'll only be fair if we show that. We showed Captain America's man goods. Okay. Let's see if we can find Marvel Rivals. Let me see.
Summer skins.
Let's see. Marvel Rivals. Let's see what we got here.
I'm not trying to be like that, Chopper, but at the same time, come on, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. There's Captain America. Let's see if we can find Storm. Oh, I mean, Daredevil's in there too. Look at that. Bam.
This seems to be
a banana hammock right there.
This seems to be some kind of coincidence going on. Right? Is it possible? Maybe it's plausible. Is it plausible that somebody working for the guys that are making the skins could be gay? I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe.
I don't know. Look,
maybe.
Okay, he's subdued here in this picture, right? He's subdued there, and then for some reason there.
I mean, those look like breasts, not pecs. Like what are we talking about, bro? This is not the same. Come on, man.
Here, I'm gonna do this just in case something. I'm trying to find. Okay, there's Storm. That's the cartoon version of Storm. Where's the in game of Storm? Do they have an in game of Storm? They have the drawing of her. Well, we know why. We know why Marvel's Avengers is still popular. Right? There you go. The sex appeal across the board. I can't find the Storm.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a superhero game, not low budget porn. Like there's a difference.
It's Skinamax, basically, right? That's what they've turned it into.
Ah, yes, the days of Skinamax.
Good old Skinamax.
Good old midnight on Skinamax.
Yeah. All right. So from that, I also want to talk about. This is just a rumor. This is not official in any way, shape, or form. But there's talks back in 2024 about this, and then there's rumors going on here. But we're just going to talk about a little speculation, perhaps. Okay. Now, Sony is actually in talks with Marvel to sell Spider-Man film rights back to Disney/Marvel. Now, we watched the video, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, from John Campia. He had a nice video about a couple months ago talking about who owns Marvel, like who owns Spider-Man, Marvel, Disney, and did a nice little breakdown of who owns and what's happening, right? And back in the day, Marvel paid $7 million for Spider-Man. Okay. Now they could have bought the entire catalog of Marvel, the entire thing, before they sold it to New Line and Fox.
25 million, right?
$25 million. And Sony, the smart businessmen they are, they said, no, you fucking reject that $25 million and you just get one guy. We want Spider-Man and Spider-Man only, and we'll pay $7 million. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And that's what they got. From that time to, I would say about 7-8 years in, they sold the rights of the licensing for merchandise back to Disney and Marvel for $175 million or $172 million. So they made bank off of that, right? Sony's made a very smart business decision here. And now there's talks that reports suggest that instead of waiting the 10 to 20 years to slowly accumulate the profits of what they have, right? Because they've made $9 billion so far with Spider-Man in the 20 years they've had it. Okay. Sony could secure an entire project valued at the franchise up front. Okay. So they're thinking that Sony can get a historical 10 billion plus just for the back to sell it back to Marvel. Okay. Now, would Disney buy it? 100% they would, right? Because they would have to, and I get why they're doing this, right? If potentially they're doing this, again, they have to wait 10 to 20 years to get that paid more, or they could just sell it right now. And if they sell it right now, they're waiting for Spider-Man to come out, which is July 31st, right? And if it comes out and it makes $1 billion, and then you go, we'd like to sell now, right? You sell now because then Marvel will be like, all right, well, we'll get the rights back. And a part of me doesn't want this to happen because I like how Sony's made Spider-Man over the years, right? But nothing was profitable for them. Venom did good, not great. Spider-Man did phenomenal, and everything else bombed for them when they try to do side off characters and stuff like that. I don't know if I want Marvel to have it all, but at the same time, it would be nice that Marvel's all back together, right? Because they get all, they got the Fox properties, they got all the stuff.
Disney's trash. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, but Disney's trash, right? So what do you think, Sarge? Do you think this is plausible? Now in 2024, they were talking about that Sony was thinking about selling it back then, and now it's up again. And again, this is just a rumor. This is just a rumor. We don't know the speculation or anything like that.
Well, let's look at it from the corpo standpoint. Let's look at it from the corpo point of view. They have rebooted Spider-Man 3 times. Every time they've tried to go outside of the Spider-Man direct line, they make decent money, but not a lot. They can't. They decided not to do the Sinister Six, even though we all told them that they should have done it already. But what ends up happening now is they're too scared in the superhero market to come out with another superhero movie that may bomb, even if it is Spider-Man, because of the environment that we're in currently. So they've made more money with Spider-Man than they could possibly ever imagine. And so for them to have to reboot it every 5 years, they're running out of ideas of what to do with Spider-Man.
Right.
So at this point, the logical conclusion is we wait until the new Spider-Man movie comes out. We see how well it does. If it does as well as we think it's going to do, we then sell it for the highest point we can because we know what we can get for it. And then it alleviates us from having to worry about how to reboot this guy again, because nobody wants to see Uncle Ben die again. We've already seen Uncle Ben die 3 or 4 times.
Well, this is why
they want a reboot. So at this point, we sell it, we wash our hands of it, and then Disney has probably a Hail Mary now because they got a fresh guy they can fuck over, right? So they can make a new movie, right?
Yep. Well, It was nice when he teamed up with other people, like in the last movie. And this movie, Hulk and Punisher are both in the film, okay? If Spider-Man goes back to Marvel, then the way Marvel should do their stuff, I don't think I said this the other day, I don't think they need to do a whole nother, giant storyline like they had for Endgame for 15 years.
You are not going to get a
reboot. No, I get that.
Of Endgame.
So what I'm saying is they could do three little trilogy, like a little trilogy of, Spider-Man in the first movie, and he teams up with Punisher, and then he meets Wolverine and stuff. Like they could always mix match like the comics, right? And they could just keep doing the little storytelling and stuff like that. Yeah, just have fun, sort of like what Deadpool and Wolverine did.
That was good.
Right? It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It wasn't the best, but they could 100% make comic book films, and they don't all have to be, smooshed together 15 films and then have a big climactic thing.
But you do know somebody with half a brain in Disney is going to recognize that if they do acquire Spider-Man, then the Sinister Six storyline is up in front. You know what I'm talking about? For them to make the kind of money that they want to make, like that's the direction you have to go.
I'll be honest, Krebsy. I think that would be a bad thing to do if they switch after Tom Holland's done. He said he wasn't going to do anymore after when the last one came out, and then now all of a sudden he signed up for like 3 more, which is fine. Okay. But if they switch over and transition to Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker, and he's back at Marvel now, that's gonna go over like shit. I'll be honest. I think they should keep Miles Morales. I love the Spider-Verse films that they have in the animated series with him. I thought they were great. I don't think they need to bring him to live action, but Disney will do what Disney wants to do. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see if they sell it. I think they should. Sony just wants to kind of wash their hands with it, right? Sell at the top and then let
not worry about it. And not worry about it. Get out of the superhero market, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's milked it for whatever it's worth, and they collect your money and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the corpo answer.
All right. Let's get to Q&A. All right, we got a couple here. Start off with Altern. Altern says, "It's now a good time to go back and play Marvel Rivals. It would be hard to play competitive if you just one hand, but I'm up for a challenge." That's not a question. It's not a question. I mean, you put a question in there, right? But you're we deduct the 5 points from earlier. You're back to 0. Altern says, "Should Sony rent office space that Bungie built in order to get some of the investment back?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They should.
You can lease for like $1.65 a square foot, like 165. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're very smart.
Absolutely. They should leave that. They should
Isn't
sublet
it a
that building.
shithole there right now, though, isn't it? It's been a shithole there for a couple years.
I don't know. I don't know.
So that it would make sense. I mean, unless they sell the building. I mean, 208,000 square feet is a big fucking building, man.
I mean, think how much money they can make up for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, $96 million. That's like making a video game. you get rid of the studio, you get the money that as if they had made a video game that actually worked, and then we wash our hands of it. We're good. I mean, I'm not trying to be evil, but if you can't get the money, out of Bungie, right, and you buy them, and then you get rid of them, you get rid of the building, you just made the profit of the just made the profit of a video game, and you walk away.
Krabsy says, "When do you think we get Bungie/Destiny's Jason Schreier tell-all video? I need these NDAs to expire so employees can share info or leak to Schreier. It'll be in a book, and then he'll sell that book. I would say 5 years.
Less.
The NDAs are pretty long.
Less.
And it has to be someone that's, if it's less, it's got to be someone that signed the NDA, it expires, and they're not in the industry anymore.
A lot of guys are getting ready to retire, bro. There's a lot of guys up there.
Do you know what's crazy? The people that started video games
are retiring now.
Are just retiring now.
That's correct.
They've been in it entirety or 40 years. They've been in it, right?
That's correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The guys that started it are now retiring.
Krebsy says, "Do you think if the current trajectory for AI and its effects on the market holds, we could enter into another Great Depression?" Ironically, the last one started around 1929. Interesting. I mean, I want to say potentially yes, but in a completely different way, right? Like, I don't think we're going to be in line for bread and stuff like that, right? I don't see that. A completely kind of different type of Great Depression. It's definitely going to be. I feel like if this happens in the Concordian timeline that we're talking about here, Krebsy, maybe what happens is, in 2029, people start losing their jobs, and then all of a sudden we have this. What was that thing that candidate talked about a couple of years? Basic income. UBI. Thank you. Right, universal basic income.
You don't want that.
I know, but that is what I see happening in this. If it happens again, like the Great Depression, I see that happening in this timeline he's talking about.
It's a complicated answer with theory behind it, right? So corporations want the adaptation of AI because they know how much money can be made on the AI business futures, as well as saving money on labor for those futures. So to them, they want to implement it as fast as possible. The only counterbalance to that would be policies that congressmen and the presidents write and pass that were to slow down those type of gains that those companies want to do in order to stave off a large unemployment problem in the next 5 years. So even though there will be AI adoption, because I don't see any other way around it because of the money that can be made. Like if corporations see where the money is, they're going to push hard. Lobbyists are going to push hard. They're going to try to get laws passed. They want to try to go down that road as fast as possible because they know how much money can be made before the regulations take over. Because inevitably, whenever something like this happens, after the initial money is made, they start going, ho, 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 everyone slow down. Somebody's making trillions of dollars a quarter. Like, we have to put some regulations in here. Like that's how it goes. So that being said, there is a large, if you guys do your research, there's a large group of businesses that are foreign that are starting to own our farmland. And that's the issue. You can have a depression. Remember, the depression was multiple things happening at once. If you do your history, the Dust Bowl happened, right? The Dust Bowl happened because all the farmers couldn't grow anything because they had a couple of years of like really bad weather, bad erosion from their overdevelopment, and so they couldn't grow anything. So low food, starvation, and jobs lost because of all the cutbacks and things during that time because of the stock market crashing. Everyone had their money in the stock market, and so everyone lost all their money, right? That's how it went down. So multiple factors happening, and I'm sure there's like 2 or 3 other ones I'm leaving out there, but it's multiple things. So in today's world, you're looking at just mass job replacement of mid-range jobs. And because they're mid-range jobs, nobody thinks about them because you and your spouse or you and your significant other both have mid-range jobs in order for you guys to live paycheck to paycheck, but still exist on the planet. We have a house, we have an apartment, we have mid-range jobs. The issue now is if a lot of the mid-range jobs go away, then you lose a lot of the middle class. And so UBI starts looking like a good idea. But trust me, you don't want UBI because there's no motivation behind UBI. You're just handed a check that they're going to take 45% of, and you're going to try to figure out how to live off the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a fun way to discuss your life. Either you try to be ambitious and you try to do good and you try to excel in a field that you like in order to make money, instead of you sitting on your ass, smoking a bag of weed, pumping out a kid, and just collecting UBI. You don't have any goals. Right. There's no motivation to want to do anything because you're just handed a check.
Right. And also, if you have UBI, the basically inflation could go up even more. Right. The potential of you're giving money to people that actually don't even need the money. Yeah. Right. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on.
The complex of the economy was when we got rid of the factory jobs. Now, everyone thinks of factory jobs as like a bad job, but back in the day, those were middle class guys working at a factory that may or may not have killed them because a lot of deaths happen on factories because there was less safety things back then, but they were paid very well in factory jobs. That includes textile, automotive, oil, coal, all the industries. So what happens is you have a large bracket of middle class people making really good money. And that's how the middle class built out back then. What happened now is we have no factory jobs, and the middle management jobs aren't paying the same as the factory jobs in relation. Correct. So now you're eroding the middle class. There's no place else for them to go because there's no middle jobs that pay. Now, you could say game development is a middle management job because it's a high-tech job that pays really well, but it's very volatile. You don't know where your next job's going to be, but you would gamble because the price tag is good, right? 100, if you're making 6 figures making video games in terms of working in a factory, like it sounds like a good gig, right? So I'm not saying that it's not going to be like a 1929 crash. We might have something similar, but the thing to watch out for is who is owning who, right? If we don't own our own production and outside influencers do, we have a greater chance of losing more of the middle class and more of our freedoms as an individual economically than we did before.
Yep. There you go. That's a big answer for you there, Cubsy. Right? That's why we have Sarge on the show. Kevin says, if Arcane is closed, don't see the Blade game getting transferred to another studio. And if so, who? Insomniac? Or we cancel it like a movie? Canceled. They'll just write it off.
I mean, I think Blade's on the chopping block now. I think just waiting for the smoke to clear.
Yeah. They'll just cancel it. I don't think they move it to try to find somebody else to wedge it into their pipeline. They would have to find a studio that's not working on anything. And obviously, Insomniac is working on a lot of, supposedly they're working on X-Men games and stuff like that for the next section that they're doing, right? They did the Spider-Man games, right? Now they're going to Wolverine. They're going to go to X-Men. So
are you guys really hoping for the Wolverine game to do well? Is everybody backing this?
I mean,
is everyone backing the Wolverine? I'm curious. Is Chad backing the Wolverine game?
I think it's going to sell about 4 to 5 million.
Which you think it's a mid-range game?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to.
So is that about the same or less than the Spider-Man release?
It's going to be way less than the Spider-Man, I think. Spider-Man sold, I think, like 12 million copies or something like that.
And that was Sony only first, right?
Yeah, it's not, I love Wolverine. Like, Wolverine's one of my favorite characters. But you're talking about the people that are comic book fans, they're going to buy it, right? And then everybody else is not going to buy it because they don't even know who the fuck Wolverine is, right? So, yes, it's a first-party game, and yes, Marvel fans are there. I think the style of it kind of diminishes it for a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't like the way he looks. They don't think he looks like Wolverine. He's too tall. He's like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and not.
Yeah, he's supposed to be shorter and much stockier, like a beast.
Right. And I'm not saying it's going to do bad in any way, shape, or form. I just think the initial sales it'll be 4 to 5 million, and then maybe obviously how the story is, and people start hyping it up, and they're like, oh, it's good. It's going to connect to whatever. I don't know. I think as a game, though, I think it's kind of it'll kind of be. I don't want to use the word mid because I don't think it'll be mid. I just don't think it's gonna.
But mid isn't a bad thing.
Mid
means average.
I don't think it sells like Spider-Man 1 did, like the Spider-Man first game. Not even close. But who knows? When does it come out? It comes out in September. I think it comes out in September.
Yeah, is it September?
I think so. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think they would transfer to Insomniac. I think they could just close it. Altern says, do you think Sony just leaked the PlayStation 6 release with them stopping disc production, meaning the PlayStation 6 will release in 2028? I mean, potentially. I honestly, I don't even think we need a new system because right now we're year 6, 7, 8. It'd be 8 years into this cycle. I mean, I really think they could wait to 2030. If it comes out, people will buy it. You get 2 million, 3 million sales because people want it, but you're going $1,200. I don't know.
No way 12. No way 12. It's PS6. PS6
Yeah.
gotta be between. It's gotta be like $1,500, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. PS6.
I mean,
the conditions that we have right now.
Yeah. Well, right. And
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. Even if the chip thing calms down, right? Remember this. Even if the chip thing calms down, Micron already signed contracts for 5 years. That means contracts for chips aren't going to change until 2031.
Right.
That's how it is. So even if the other new factories open up, new chips come out, the guys who signed the contracts with Micron, the 16 bigwigs, we don't know who they are yet. I'd have to look them up. The 16 companies that signed contracts with Micron have signed up for the price for chips to happen right now. So if the prices keep going up, Micron still has to sell them for the lower price because it's a 5-year contract. But that being said, we're still in an overinflated market. They're trying to cover their ass. So even if the chip prices go up, they're locked in at the higher price now, but it won't go higher, right? So you're not going to see lower prices until 2031, 32.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you're living in the price point right now. It goes up from here, but they're not paying more because they're under a 5-year contract.
Right. Real quick, Alexander Smith. No, 4 or 5 million is not bad. But again, I don't know the budget. You would have to know what the budget of the game is to say if it's good or bad at 4 or 5 million. If the game costs $100 million and they sell 5 million copies, they're fine. If the game cost $250 million and they sold 5 million copies, then it's not a problem, right? Then it would be bad. So I don't know the budget to say it's good or bad. I'm just saying I think it sells 4 to 5 million units. That's my prediction. Chopper Eric says, when do you think we start to see more of these game studios move eastward to try to reduce operating costs? They're doing it right now.
They have to be doing it right now.
Yeah, they're doing it right now. You're gonna see the bloodbath happen this summer. They're gonna start really getting people, and AI is already being implemented. There's people already talking about it. They've already implemented AI in certain companies. Now we don't know what extent, but you're getting people making video games. You're gonna get people getting downsized redundancy
between Fable 5, the new Unreal Engine, and AI. You're going to start to see probably somebody who's smart and wants to be ambitious, like a half or quarter size of an Elon Musk, right? Somebody who's just ambitious. Remember how Elon Musk started? Look up his life story, right? You'll have 3 guys or 4-person teams making a video game.
Yeah.
In 9 months.
You have that now.
In 9 months.
Yeah.
A full-blown video game in 9 months. 4 guys using a couple of software.
It could even be sooner, because if it's an early access, then they can build a game while they get testing done because they're by themselves. Right?
So, see, in my mind, I look at this as a race, right? I look at this as a race between the individuals being able to find software and hardware that lets them be the size of a 100-person studio, and there's only like 10 people, right? Trying to make games before the bigwigs of Microsoft and Sony build the infrastructure for an entire encapsulation of you paying a monthly fee for cloud gaming. Like, that's, I think, is the race right now. Because if they figure out that the AI will help the individual more than it would help them in the business sense, because you'll have more competition, because you'll have smaller teams buying for people's attentions, they'll try to put limits on who can have the powerful AI stuff. Because if it's out for everybody, then anybody can do what the corporations are doing, and they can't have that. Like, right. You guys don't understand how that works, right? If AI causes you as an individual to have the same strength as a corporation of 100 or 300 people, like you can't have that running around. You have to put a limit on that, right? So either data cap, hardware is so expensive that the entry point is a little harder, right? That's how that works, right? Just like in the movie industry, cameras are expensive. This is expensive, so everyone couldn't make a movie, but now anyone has a phone can make a movie, right?
Right.
Same shit. So now if I can make a video game with having pieces of hardware, then I guess corporations have to make those pieces of hardware really expensive for the entry point. Otherwise, everybody's on equal footing.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to what am I trying to figure out here? How much is Wolverine going to cost? Is it $70?
We don't know. We're guessing. Okay. We're guessing $70.
So I just looked this up, and I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, but because of the leaked documents from Insomniac a couple years ago, it says Marvel's Wolverine is reported to be approximately $305 million budget. Now,
that's no bueno.
If that's true, then the 4 to 5 million is terrible for them.
Yeah.
Right? Because that would be close to 500 million with marketing, and then they have to sell over 10 million copies, which they could do in the long run.
Sure.
But I don't know if that's true. But that's what's popping up. Yeah, 8 to 15 million. And again, if they do 4 to 5, then to answer your question, yes, that would be bad. But if it's not that price, and as Krebsy said, Wolverine has a nosebleed budget, so it's high. So I don't think 4 or 5 million is going to cut it for them. So they got to sell like 12 million, 15 million copies, which potentially it could. Hence why I think they added the toggle for the blood. You know what I mean? So like younger people could buy it and they don't have to watch the gore type of thing. Open up the market a little bit.
The last time I saw a game that turned down the gore was like Narc. Like the Narc on the Nintendo.
Oh, there's been other games
that
have
blood.
Blood.
Like the blood off? Turn blood off?
Oh, to turn it off. You're talking about this toggle.
Yeah. Like a toggle? Skyrim, I think, has it too. Blood off. Skyrim had it.
I'm sure there's other games. Waterbear says, I'm thinking of becoming a GTA streamer. Should I go ahead and get the GTA 6 now with the shitty 30 frames per second to get on the ground floor, or wait for the real version of PC to drop? I think with the RP, I think you could wait. Water. You don't want to be a single player Grand Theft Auto streamer. You can wait for the online version.
Yeah, I think the online RP is gonna be insane, bro.
Yeah, because the RP will be big when it comes out, but you can get in at any time.
Like all the girls that have failed in OnlyFans are going to come over to GTA 6 and do the RP and make fortunes.
Yeah,
right. All the C-level girls on OnlyFans who are not making any money are coming over to Grand Theft Auto.
Don't quit your day job though, or your night job, because you work at night. Altered says, do you think Sony should make another Spider-Man that's not Tom Holland, Miles Morales, or Spider-Gwen to introduce their spin-off movies? No,
they've milked the cow.
No, I think they should sell it back to Marvel and let them deal with it, because Sony will have diminishing returns if they do Gwen or Miles Morales. That's just my opinion.
Agreed. They milk the cow, sell the cow.
That's right. You've made they've won the lottery 10 times over.
Right. You
made $7 million. They made over $9 billion.
Right. You made the milk. You made the cream. You made the ice cream. You sell it for hamburgers. You've done everything with that cow. It's done.
Move on. There you
sell
go.
it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
All right. Let me see. Anybody? Smith says, yikes. That's evidence of why AAA studios budgets need to get under control. Yeah. It's crazy. Build an audience to get into the algorithm, then move to PC.
You give nerds money and you end up with Star Wars beds and race car beds. You know what I mean? Like you end up with like Pete Carson Parson. Like that's what you end up with when you give nerds money. Like this is anybody who's a nerd and doesn't understand how to handle money, and you give them money, that's what you end up with. You're gonna end like a land speeder bed, and you're gonna have a live Cylon Raider statue at your front foyer. Like you're not gonna get investment banker stuff. That's just not. It's not gonna happen.
See if anything popped up while we were.
Well, the minute the show ends,
something big's gonna happen.
Sony drops another thing that says we're discontinuing PlayStation.
Oh, they have cool little figurines they came out with for First Descendant. So they have like little toys.
Are they posable?
It looks like it.
18 points of articulation.
Yeah, it looks like a Hermes bend and stuff like that. You got there's Bunny. Hello.
Hi, Bunny.
Yeah, and then you have Bunny over here in the little collectible like pop.
Hey Mo, they have Bunny.
Yeah.
Is Mo in the chat?
Mo's already
ordered it. He's
already pre-ordered it.
He's already pre-ordered it. He's already pre-ordered it.
Yeah, that's funny. You see all the memes? Here, have you seen these? And this we'll go after this. Have you seen these, Sarge?
Pizza? Yeah, the Domino's.
You got the Domino's pizza, right? Responding to the PlayStation. They're making digital pizzas now. We have the official statement from Proto Privacy. And responsive gaming industry removing physical offerings. Moving forward, we decided to fill the gap, making our services entirely physical starting April 2027 on April 1st, 2027. We got ES Ports, right? They've got that. And then we also have PC Mag official statement in response to tens of media industry. We're no longer updating PCMag.com and leading the tech journalism and product review website effective immediately or contact accessible with two distinct methods: a direct connect to AI interactive networking, or mail order subscriptions to 3.5-inch floppy disk. I love all the memes happening because of this.
Did you see the developer showing of the Dawn of War 4, a battle between an actual game setup between the two devs? That's on YouTube now. It's an actual game being played. It doesn't look scripted. I'm trying to figure out if it's scripted or not, but it looks like they're actually having the match and they're talking through it. So you actually get to watch gameplay. So I thought it was interesting.
I'll have to check it out. A couple things I gotta take a look at. A bunch of videos popped up today. I think Kinger has a new video. I don't know if I should watch it.
I watched it,
or should I wait till Monday?
I mean, you could watch it. It's not a huge thing. He's got another one in the works, but it's a good one.
Okay. Oh, dude, I gotta buy this. JP's got He's got the new Cyclops. It's a Bluetooth headset and also the visor. Nice.
But does it do AR? And can you fire laser beams at people?
I don't know if it does AR. That would be cool.
If it was AR and you could fire laser beams at people, that would be
that
cool.
would be cool if you could just see through it. You're like,
yes.
in the game.
Then we're talking.
I'll buy that.
Personally, I think the next step out of gaming is AR. See, I think being in your house, we already talked about
They
this
have
before.
stuff like that already. Some of it's like that.
Listen, I would like to have but it's not a visor, right? The tech has to come up a bit. You're wearing glasses, like the meta glasses.
Yeah.
Right? And you're moving around your own neighborhood. But it's a zombie game.
About this.
That I think is what we're talking about. Like that's where
your
we're
neighbor
going.
comes out, pulling the garbage out, and looks at you. You're like,
and he's a zombie. Yeah. I think that would be cool.
He comes running up to him. He's like, you're like, what is wrong with the neighbor's kid?
People would just go to parks with their meta glasses, and they would just
UBI, get their Meta Quest on,
click their UBI, go to a park, and play their AR game.
That's what they do. Fantastic. All right, chat. That's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 495, I almost said 300. 495 is in the can. If you guys like what we do here, you can support the channel by hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a member as little as $5. You can buy some merch down below with a t-shirt, a mug, a sticker, or you can also go to Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, Pandora, anything. You can also download the albums that we have for Perk Up Press Play Volumes 1 and 2. There's a bunch of singles out there as well. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and we'll see you guys on Monday for the Daily Grind.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th, guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy 4th of July.
Don't blow your fingers off.
Blow up fireworks, not your arms.
Game on, guys. Game on.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical